Chapter 1610. Dragon Blood Thunder Iron. Ling Xiao and Wuxia were both pleasantly surprised. They had indeed obtained the Dragon Blood Lightning Iron after breaking through the spatial formation. The black stone was just a cover for the others. Ling Xiao suddenly frowned slightly. He raised his head to look at the blazing sea of lightning in the distance and said slowly, "Brother Dugu, do you feel it? The Dragon Blood Lightning Yuan Iron seems to have destroyed some sort of array in Divine Cloud Valley. The lightning energy here is becoming more chaotic." "That's right. The Dragon Blood Thunder Yuan Iron seems to have been sealed here by someone. It seems to be a treasure used to suppress the eye of the formation. It has two extremes of yin and yang. The true Phoenix Stone must be the same. I wonder what changes will happen to Divine Cloud Valley after we get our hands on these two treasures." Wuxia nodded. Originally, Divine Sword Mountain should have been a place of extreme yang. Endless lightning gathered here, and its aura was terrifying. However, after the space formation was destroyed and the Dragon Blood Thunder Iron was taken out, the lightning here dissipated. Whoosh! At this moment, a figure with a powerful aura rushed toward Divine Sword Mountain, at an extremely fast speed. Ling Xiao frowned and immediately put away the Dragon Blood Lightning Yuan Iron. The aura of the Dragon Blood Thunder Iron was too strong. The vast dragon roar when it came out must have attracted the attention of some people. A young man dressed in a black robe instantly landed on the Divine Sword Mountain. He looked heroic and extraordinary. However, his face was very cold and arrogant. His eyes were full of indifference. His aura was very powerful. He had already reached the cultivation of the First Revolution Semi-Sage. "Hey, are you a disciple of War God Temple?" The black-robed young man's eyes flashed when he saw Ling Xiao. He asked faintly. Ling Xiao was wearing the uniform of War God Temple. Moreover, there was the fluctuation of War God token on him. Ling Xiao did not hide it, so the black-robed young man recognized him at a glance. "I am Long Outyin, a disciple of War God Temple. Greetings, senior brother," Ling Xiao said calmly. He could sense that the black-robed young man was also a disciple of War God Temple. He was surrounded by blazing lightning and exuded a powerful aura of Thunder Principle. He should be a disciple of Thunder Hall. Someone is willing to join War God Temple? How strange. The name Long Outyin sounds familiar. "I am Lei Kuan from the Thunder Hall. Why have you come to Divine Cloud Valley?" When the black-robed young man Lei Kuan heard that Ling Xiao was from the Battle Hall, a look of disdain appeared in his eyes. He said coldly with a hint of scrutiny, "So it's senior brother Lei Kuan. I'm here with a friend to train in Divine Cloud Valley. We won't delay senior brother Lei Kuan any longer. Farewell." Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he spoke. So he is a disciple of the Thunder Hall. Ling Xiao could not help but think that Zhang Tianxing should be in Divine Cloud Valley. Lei Kuan and Zhang Tianxing should have some sort of relationship. Wait. In a flash, Lei Kuan appeared in front of Ling Xiao and Wuxia. "Senior brother Lei Kuan, is there anything else?" Ling Xiao furrowed his brows. "Just now, I sense the birth of a treasure on this mountain. It's emitting a dazzling light. You should have obtained it, right? Take it out and show it to me," Lei Kuan said coldly. There was an unquestionable determination in his voice. "A treasure has been born? I'm afraid senior brother Lei saw wrongly. The lightning here must be too intense. Senior brother Lei must have seen wrongly. I didn't obtain any treasure. Senior brother Lei, please move aside," Ling Xiao said indifferently. He felt a little annoyed. Lei Kuan was indeed attracted by the Dragon Blood Lightning Iron. "I saw wrongly? How is that possible? Long Outyin, hand over your storage magic treasure for me to search. If you dare to deceive me, you should know the consequences of a mere inner disciple." Lei Kuan's eyes were cold as he spoke arrogantly. He treated Ling Xiao like a new inner disciple. After all, Ling Xiao's cultivation was too deceptive. Even if he had devoured the energy of the formation, he was only at the mid-divine king realm. Ling Xiao's eyes turned cold as he said coldly, "Lei Kuan, what right do you have to search my storage magic treasure? If I say I don't have it, I don't have it. Move aside, or don't blame me for being rude." "Rude? How are you going to be rude? You're just an ant. It's your fortune that I'm willing to search your storage magic treasure. Don't refuse a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit. Lei Kuan's eyes flashed with a cold light. Brother Long, I didn't expect the War God Temple to be a bunch of bastards who bully the weak and fear the strong. I think you should stop talking nonsense with him, and just beat him up. Dugu Qiubai said indifferently as a sword light flashed in his eyes. You're courting death. Lei Kuan was immediately angered. Dugu Qiubai only seemed to be a great perfection God King. Yet the two of them did not show him any respect at all. They even wanted to beat him up. Was there something wrong with their heads? Boom. Lei Kuan stretched out his hand and slapped towards Ling Xiao. His palm was filled with lightning, and it was aimed at Ling Xiao's face. It was a very arrogant move. Ling Xiao's eyes turned cold. The disciples of the Thunder Hall were indeed the same. Divine energy surged around his body as he clenched his right fist. Purple chi filled the sky as it turned into a purple fist and blasted towards Lei Kuan. Ling Xiao unleashed the strength of the Qilin arm without holding back. Crack! As the fist and palm collided, a terrifying divine power gushed out. Lei Kuan, who had a sneer on his face, suddenly changed his expression. The lightning in his palm exploded, and even his arm was blasted apart by Ling Xiao's punch. Ling Xiao's punch was extremely ferocious. It landed directly on Lei Kuan's face and sent him flying. His teeth were all broken and he spat out a mouthful of blood. His eyes were filled with shock and anger. You've also cultivated the indestructible divine technique. I know it now. So you're Long Outyin who said that he wanted to fight for the flipping sky seal. You're dead meat. Senior brother Zhan Tianqing won't let you go. Lei Kuan roared furiously, his eyes filled with cold killing intent. As soon as Ling Xiao attacked, he immediately felt the terrifying power contained in Ling Xiao's punch. More importantly, he sensed the tribulation qi in Ling Xiao's body. He immediately thought of Ling Xiao's origin. Lei Kuan's eyes showed a hint of fear. Although he had been cultivating in the divine devil space, he had heard of Long Outyin's name. He had defeated Wu Chun, who was a great divine king, with 3 punches. He had also cultivated the indestructible divine technique. Most importantly, didn't Xuehua go to hunt him down? Why was he still alive and kicking? Lei Kuan knew that Xuehua had obtained Zhan Tianqing's permission to hunt Ling Xiao. Now that Ling Xiao was safe and sound, Xuehua was probably dead. Zhan Tianqing is also in the Divine Cloud Valley? Where is he? Chapter 1611. Long Outyin, senior brother Zhan Tianqing has already condensed an indestructible calamity seed. You're courting death if you want to fight him for the cyclic sky seal. I'll spare your life today. Your life belongs to senior brother Zhan Tianqing. Lei Kuan's eyes were extremely cold. After taking a deep look at Ling Xiao, he immediately turned around and flew into the distance. He was very decisive. After knowing Long Outyin, he knew that he might not be able to defeat Long Outyin. If he stayed, he would only be humiliating himself. Therefore, he decisively chose to leave. Ling Xiao did not choose to pursue Lei Kuan. The Hall of War prohibited disciples from killing each other, especially true disciples. Once it was discovered by the sect, it would be severely punished. More importantly, Ling Xiao did not take Lei Kuan seriously. Lei Kuan was just a subordinate of Zhan Tianqing. Ling Xiao, I've heard of Zhan Tianqing's name. He's very famous among the disciples of the 12 immortal sacred grounds. Rumor has it that he has the bloodline of the war tribe, and is very accomplished in the way of thunder. If he's also in Divine Cloud Valley, you'll have to be careful. Dugu Qiubai said slowly. It's all right. I'd like to meet senior brother Zhan Tianqing. Ling Xiao smiled faintly. There was a strong desire to fight in his eyes. There was indeed a lot of calamity qi in Divine Cloud Valley. However, Ling Xiao and Dugu Qiubai's target was the inheritance of the saints in Divine Cloud Palace. They had not had the time to absorb the calamity qi to cultivate. They did not expect Zhan Tianqing to have already condensed an indestructible calamity seed with the calamity qi here. It seemed that Ling Xiao had to speed up. Only by condensing a calamity seed could he hope to compete with Zhan Tianqing for the right to control the cyclic sky seal. Let's go and find the true Phoenix Stone. Ling Xiao and Dugu Qiubai left the mountain peak to search for the true Phoenix Stone. After the Dragon Blood Thunder Yuan Iron was taken out, some strange changes seemed to have taken place in Divine Cloud Valley. The yin and yang poles were destroyed, and the thunder here became more and more intense. Originally, the place of extreme Yin was hidden very deeply, but now a trace of it was revealed. Finally, Ling Xiao and Duguqiubai came to a valley. The lightning here was somewhat weak. The lightning showed a black light and was dense with powerful Yin qi. This was the place of extreme Yin. Someone's here? Ling Xiao's eyes flickered as he sensed a powerful aura emanating from the valley. It was extremely chaotic, as though there was an intense battle going on. Ling Xiao and Duguqiubai looked at each other. They immediately concealed their presence and sneaked into the valley. In the valley, there was a dense black fog. A group of figures with powerful auras formed a huge formation. It was like a purple lightning dragon that was attacking a huge beast in the center. Roar. The beast's roar shook the heavens and the earth. The giant beast looked very strange. There were purple thunderbolts all over its body. It looked like a lion. The fur all over its body was purple, and its eyes were like blood moons. It was extremely fierce. The scales all over its body clattered, and its limbs exuded an extremely powerful aura. That giant beast seemed to have the strength of a third revolution half-saint. It was extremely terrifying. Could this be a primordial variant, the purple lightning lion? Ling Xiao's heart skipped a beat as he recognized the origin of this giant beast. The purple lightning lion was a primordial variant. It was said that it was a divine beast that could control lightning. Its strength was unparalleled, and it was the mount of a saint. An adult purple lightning lion not only had the strength of a saint, it was also extremely fast. It could travel through the void and control lightning. This purple lightning lion seems to be no match for them. These people are actually disciples of the 9 imperial gates? Duguqiubai said slowly. Among the dozen figures besieging the purple lightning lion, the leader was a young man in a purple dragon robe. He had a heroic bearing and extraordinary arrogance. He was a first revolution half-saint. The others were all in the great divine king realm. They were the disciples of the 9 imperial gates, Huang Wuji's group. Although their cultivation didn't seem to be strong, the purple lightning lion was actually at a disadvantage. Wang. A purple bead floated above the purple lightning lion's head. It shone brightly and emitted blazing lightning. It was incomparably mysterious. It formed an incomparably powerful barrier that enveloped the purple lightning lion. Moreover, it seemed to be devouring the purple lightning lion's power. Coupled with the 9-layered thunder dragon formation, the disciples of the 9 imperial gates erupted with an extremely powerful force. They were constantly suppressing the purple lightning lion, trying to make it submit. I didn't expect Divine Cloud Valley to have a primordial variant like the purple lightning lion. Only a purple lightning lion is worthy of being my mount. Huang Wuji's eyes were filled with a blazing light. Under his control, the purple bead seemed to have turned into a mysterious vortex that was constantly devouring the purple lightning lion's power. If this continued, it wouldn't be long before the purple lightning lion's power was exhausted. At that time, he would be able to find a way to subdue the purple lightning lion. It's the Thunder Source Bead? Rumor has it that the Thunder Source Bead is an ancient sacred treasure. It's not unique to the 9 imperial gates. There are a total of 36 Thunder Source Beads. These 36 Thunder Source Beads are a set of top sacred treasures. It's just that they have been lost for a long time. I didn't expect the 9 imperial gates to have a Thunder Source Bead. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he thought to himself. He also had a Thunder Source Bead that he had obtained from the mythical space. Legend had it that the 9 imperial gates had bestowed a flawless sacred treasure to the Great Zhou dynasty, Sky Sword College and Overlord College. Now he saw another one. The Thunder Source Beads could sense each other. When Ling Xiao sensed the Thunder Source Bead, Huang Wuji also sensed Ling Xiao's aura. Who's there? Come out. Huang Wuji's eyes turned cold as he shouted at Ling Xiao and Duguqiubai. Although Ling Xiao's heaven-shrouding secret technique could conceal his own aura, it couldn't conceal the Thunder Source Bead's senses. Therefore, Huang Wuji instantly discovered him. Looks like I have to keep this Thunder Source Bead in the wordless heavenly book in the future. Ling Xiao laughed bitterly in his heart. The Thunder Origin Bead was in his sea of consciousness. By refining the Thunder Origin Bead, he could also quickly comprehend and cultivate the Thunder Emperor technique. However, the chi connection between the thunder origin beads was too strong. Unless he kept it in the wordless heavenly book, he would be able to completely conceal that connection. Ling Xiao and Duguqiubai walked in from outside the valley. Who are you guys? Huang Wuji's eyes flashed coldly as he looked at Ling Xiao with a hint of scrutiny. He could sense that the fluctuation of the thunder source bead came from this person before him. This meant that this person had at least one thunder source bead on him. Especially after seeing Ling Xiao and Duguqiubai's cultivation, Huang Wuji's eyes were filled with disdain. He didn't care about the cultivation of a mere divine king. We're just passing by. You guys can continue. Don't mind us. Ling Xiao smiled faintly. Passing by? Kid, you have the aura of the thunder source bead on you. The thunder source bead is the supreme treasure of the 9 imperial gates. Kneel down and hand over the thunder source bead with both hands. Then, I can spare your lives. Chapter 16:12. Are you talking about this? A light flashed in Ling Xiao's hand as the thunder pearl emitted a blazing light. It was dazzling as it appeared in his palm. The surrounding thunderbolts seemed to be attracted by the thunder pearl. It really is the thunder pearl. Kid, hand over the thunder pearl and get out of here. Huang Wuji's eyes lit up. The thunder source beads were a set of supreme treasures. There were a total of 36 beads, and they had been lost since ancient times. The thunder source bead in Huang Wuji's possession was obtained at a great cost. If he was able to obtain another thunder source bead, his strength would definitely skyrocket. He never thought that there would be such an unexpected surprise in Divine Cloud Valley. Ling Xiao looked at Huang Wuji with a smile that was not a smile. He then put away the thunder origin pearl and said slowly, "Why should I?" Huang Wuji's expression instantly turned gloomy. He had always been a man of his word. Countless people in the ninefold imperial obelisk flattered him. Even the true disciples with higher cultivation than him were very polite when they saw him. This had nurtured his arrogant character. Ling Xiao's behavior was simply a humiliation in his eyes. Kid, you're dead meat. The Thunder Pearl is a treasure of the ninefold imperial obelisk. If you dare not hand it over, no one can save you today. Huang Wuji's voice was extremely cold. Ling Xiao looked at Huang Wuji as if he was an idiot and said, "Are you crazy? The Thunder Pearl is an ancient treasure. What does it have to do with the ninefold imperial obelisk? Don't threaten me. I'm the last person to be afraid of threats." Duguqiubai also shook his head slightly. Huang Wuji in front of him seemed to be extremely talented, and his cultivation was not weak. However, his temperament was too weak. How did such a person survive the Nirvana tribulation? Very well. If you don't hand it over, then you can go to hell. Huang Wuji's eyes were blazing with murderous intent. His body exuded a powerful aura as he instantly pounced towards Ling Xiao. Roar. The purple lightning lion was also extremely smart. When it saw Huang Wuji pouncing towards Ling Xiao, it immediately felt that it was a good opportunity to escape. It roared and a powerful sound wave spread in all directions. The violent power of blood and chi around it erupted, wanting to break through the seal of the ninefold thunder dragon array. "You're courting death." The disciples of the 9 imperial obelisks sneered without the slightest hint of worry in their eyes. Roar. A dragon's roar shook the heavens and earth. The purple thunder dragon formed by the 9-layered thunder dragon array exuded a monstrous dragon's aura. It seemed to have formed a mysterious connection with the thunder origin bead in the void. The aura between the two grew stronger. The purple lightning lion charged at the purple lightning dragon. Not only did it fail to break through the defense of the array, it was also slapped away by the purple lightning dragon. The surrounding sea of thunder rose, and the heaven and earth trembled. The terrifying power of the array covered the sky and the sun, and the aura was shocking. The 9-layered Thunder Dragon Great Array was extraordinary. Moreover, it had the Thunder Source bead as the eye of the array. Coupled with the special location of the Divine Cloud Valley, it allowed a group of Divine King Realm disciples to trap the Third Revolution Half-Saint Purple Lightning Lion and gain the upper hand. No matter how much the Purple Lightning Lion roared and furiously attacked, it was still unable to break out of the 9-layered Lightning Dragon formation. Bang! On the other side, Ling Xiao threw a punch at Huang Wuji, who was charging at him. When the two fists collided, blazing lightning exploded. Ling Xiao and Huang Wuji were both shocked and retreated at the same time. You're just a middle-stage divine king. No wonder you're so arrogant. It turns out that you have a strong body. However, no matter how strong your body is, you're still going to die. Huang Wuji's eyes were slightly surprised, but he sneered. Bright runes rose from his palm, and the vast lightning around him was attracted to him. They turned into powerful weapons and shot towards Ling Xiao. At the same time, a mysterious figure faintly appeared behind Huang Wuji. It made his aura even more terrifying. It was as if he was a heavenly emperor who controlled lightning. Every strike had an earth-shattering power. The Thunder Emperor's shadow? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. He had obtained the Thunder Emperor technique, so he could naturally recognize that Huang Wuji had also cultivated the Thunder Emperor technique. Moreover, Huang Wuji had reached the minor completion realm and condensed the Thunder Emperor's shadow. This allowed him to erupt with the strength of a second revolution half-saint. Boom! The heavens and earth trembled violently. Ling Xiao threw a punch. His Qilin arm erupted with unparalleled divine power. It was like a purple divine sun that rose up and blasted towards Huang Wuji. The powerful weapons formed by the lightning were directly smashed by Ling Xiao's punch. The blazing lightning fell on Ling Xiao's body, causing the sound of metal clashing and sparks to fly in all directions. Ling Xiao's body seemed to be cast in gold. His qi and blood were incomparably violent. After rushing towards Huang Wuji, he threw a punch at Huang Wuji's face. Such an unscrupulous attack made Huang Wuji both shocked and furious. Terrifying holy light spread all over his body, and the phantom of the Thunder Emperor behind him seemed to have merged with his entire being. Shocking lightning burst out, like streaks of sword light, directly piercing towards Ling Xiao. Gotcha! Ling Xiao's gaze was extremely sharp. The blazing sword light was extremely sharp as well. It was formed from the origin energy of the Way of Thunder. It directly pierced through his skin, leaving behind streaks of blood. It also wanted to surge into his body. The blazing light behind Ling Xiao surged, and turned into a vast devouring vortex. It devoured the sword light that filled the sky. Ling Xiao faced the endless sea of lightning and charged towards Huang Wuji. You even dare to devour the Thunder Emperor's sword qi? You're courting death. Huang Wuji's eyes were filled with a sneer. Those sword lights were the Thunder Emperor's sword qi. It was invincible. It was one of the major offensive means of the Thunder Emperor technique. If a half-step sage dared to forcibly refine it, he would be shattered by the sword qi, let alone a divine king brat. However, he didn't know that Ling Xiao had also cultivated the Thunder Emperor technique. Moreover, Ling Xiao's body was incomparably strong. It could even devour the tribulation qi, let alone the Thunder Emperor's sword qi. Whoosh! 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 The lightning around Huang Wuji rose, and turned into blazing sword light in the void. It contained an invincible power fluctuation, and shot towards Ling Xiao at an extremely fast speed. However, Ling Xiao did not reject them. The Thunder Emperor's sword qi was like 100 rivers flowing into the sea as he devoured them. The sword qi was refined by the Thunder Emperor technique, and devoured by the heaven-devouring secret technique. They were all turned into the most original power of thunder, and began to nourish and refine Ling Xiao's physical body. Ling Xiao was extremely fast. He arrived in front of Huang Wuji in an instant. The terrifying power of the Qilin arm erupted. A monstrous fist print blasted towards Huang Wuji. This was just a simple punch, but the fist print was grand and vast, containing an indestructible power. It was as if the celestial emperor had swept across the heavens and the myriad realms, enveloping Huang Wuji's entire being. What? Huang Wuji trembled all over. There was a trace of disbelief in his eyes. The power of this punch was too terrifying. How could a brat in the Divine King realm perform such a terrifying fist technique? Gotcha! Huang Wuji's body was filled with divine brilliance. He pushed out his arms. Endless lightning rushed towards Ling Xiao. However, it was broken by Ling Xiao's punch in an instant. Only a crisp sound was heard. Huang Wuji's arm was broken. A bloody mist exploded in the void. A blazing light burst out, and Huang Wuji was sent flying, smashing into the mountain wall in the distance. Suddenly, the earth shook, and the mountain range trembled. Even the mountain peak suddenly collapsed. Chapter 1613. Rumble. Lightning flashed and rocks flew everywhere. Huang Wuji had smashed a mountain peak, creating an extremely shocking scene. However, Ling Xiao frowned slightly. Although his punch had shattered Huang Wuji's arm, it seemed to have hit an indestructible barrier when it came into contact with Huang Wuji's chest. It did not cause any harm to Huang Wuji. How is this possible? That kid is only a divine king. How could he defeat senior brother Huang Wuji? Everyone in the 9 Imperial Obelisk was dumbfounded. Their eyes were filled with disbelief. Impossible. Senior brother Huang Wuji is a genius. It's impossible for him to be defeated. He must have not used his full strength. That's right. This kid must have sneak attacked senior brother Huang Wuji. He's too shameless. Many disciples of the 9 Imperial Obelisk had blind faith in Huang Wuji, as they discussed among themselves. Roar, roar, roar. Just as they were distracted, the purple lightning lion roared furiously. The lightning around its body was dazzling, and its blood chi was monstrous. It almost broke the 9-layered thunder dragon formation. The disciples of the 9 Imperial Obelisk were so frightened that they quickly focused and continued to suppress the purple lightning lion. What no one noticed was that Dugachiobai had disappeared without them noticing. Whoosh! Huang Wuji rushed out of the mountain peak. His body was shrouded in dazzling light. Runes revolved around him, forming a powerful barrier that protected Huang Wuji. Although he was in a sorry state, he was not seriously injured. The power of Ling Xiao's punch had been completely blocked by the barrier on his body. This is a Saint Path barrier? Ling Xiao frowned slightly. The golden enchantment on Huang Wuji's body was still filled with blazing lightning. The mysterious divine path runes seemed to be connected with the surrounding heaven and earth. It was very powerful. It was the divine path enchantment left behind by a saint. However, a Saint Path barrier required the consumption of Saint Path origin energy. Saints would rarely leave behind a Saint Path barrier except for their close relatives. This meant that Huang Wuji had a saint behind him. The Holy Way boundary was very powerful. It contained the Holy Way origin of a saint. Even a high-level half-saint would have a hard time breaking it. It was no wonder that Huang Wuji had been so arrogant even after coming to Divine Cloud Valley, capturing the purple lightning lions without a care in the world. It turned out that he had the divine barrier on him, which made him invincible. Brat, you're dead. No one dares to treat me like this. Your physical body is very strong indeed, but you can't break through my Saint Dao barrier. I'll exhaust you to death today even if I have to exhaust you. Huang Wuji hated Ling Xiao to the core, and said in exasperation. Really? Let's see if I can break your tortoise shell. Ling Xiao sneered and used a secret art of teleportation. His feet were like a stream of light, and he appeared tens of thousands of meters away in an instant. The qi and blood around him rose, and a powerful dragon roar was heard. He threw a punch at Huang Wuji. Ling Xiao also became ruthless. So what if there was a Saint Path boundary? This Huang Wuji was really asking for a beating. Ling Xiao also wanted to test how strong the legendary Saint Dao barrier was. Boom! Ling Xiao's speed was so fast that he arrived in front of Huang Wuji. Huang Wuji's expression changed, and he threw a punch, trying to block Ling Xiao's attack. But Ling Xiao took advantage of the opportunity to grab his arm, and then kicked out. Ling Xiao's kick could even shatter an immemorial divine mountain, but when it landed on Huang Wuji's body, it made Huang Wuji tremble violently. The Saint Path boundary emerged again, and neutralized Ling Xiao's kick. Boom! 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 Ling Xiao threw hundreds of punches in a row. Each punch exploded with extreme power and speed. He smashed Huang Wuji from the sky to the ground, and then from the ground to the sky. But there was not even a ripple on the Saint Path boundary. Ling Xiao could feel that the runes in the Saint Path boundary were connected perfectly with heaven and earth. The power that Ling Xiao blasted on Huang Wuji was ingeniously transferred to heaven and earth. It was like a drop of water falling into the sea, and there was not even a wave. Although Huang Wuji did not suffer any injuries, Ling Xiao's fist momentum was vast, and contained a trace of the Emperor's fist's conception. The heavy power passed through the Saintly Way barrier, and still shook Huang Wuji, until he was dizzy and embarrassed. Huang Wuji was like a live target. He was blasted around by Ling Xiao, and the entire valley was a mess. Ah, I'm going to kill you. Huang Wuji was about to go crazy. It was a great humiliation to be beaten up like a live target. He could not bear it at all. Terrifying lightning rose around him, and the Thunder Emperor's shadow seemed to come alive. It threw a punch at Ling Xiao, and suddenly, endless lightning fell towards Ling Xiao. Crack! Ling Xiao's fist collided with the Thunder Emperor's shadow. Suddenly, the void trembled and lightning exploded. Ling Xiao could not help but retreat. This guy's tortoise shell is really hard. Ling Xiao laughed bitterly, feeling a little defeated in his heart. He finally saw the power of the Saint Path boundary. Even if he took out the Xian Kuan sword, it would be difficult to break the Saint Path boundary. Whoosh! At this moment, Dugu Qiubai's figure silently rushed out of the valley. In his palm, there was a reddish-gold stone. It looked like it was emitting a brilliant light, and golden flames surrounded it. The faint cry of a phoenix could be heard from it. The true phoenix stone. Dugu Qiubai had taken advantage of the chaos to enter the valley and brought the true phoenix stone out. Originally, the purple lightning lion was guarding the true phoenix stone. However, the purple lightning lion was trapped by the disciples of the 9 imperial gates, and Dugu Qiubai obtained the true phoenix stone without any effort. Let's go. This guy has a Saint Path boundary. We can't break it. Dugu Qiubai said to Ling Xiao. Since they had obtained the true phoenix stone, there was no need to stay here any longer. Damn it. You have the true phoenix stone? That's mine. You two thieves and robbers, I won't let you go. Huang Wuji saw the true phoenix stone in Dugu Qiubai's hand, and immediately understood what Dugu Qiubai was doing. He naturally recognized the true phoenix stone, and his lungs were about to explode from anger. Yes, we can go now. Before we leave, I'll give this guy a big gift. Ling Xiao laughed coldly. He did not take Huang Wuji's hysterical roars to heart. Light flashed in his palm, and the Thunder Origin Pearl appeared in his palm. Rumble. Chapter 16:14. The Thunder Pearl exuded a mysterious aura, causing the surrounding thunderbolts to go berserk. Even the Thunder Pearl that was imprisoning the purple lightning lion started to tremble violently. The Thunder Pearls were connected to each other, and were originally one. When Ling Xiao activated the power of the Thunder Pearl, it immediately triggered the reaction of the other Thunder Pearl. Rumble. A blazing storm formed between heaven and earth, containing a wave that could destroy everything. It instantly shrouded the disciples of the 9 imperial obelisk, who were casting the 9-layered Thunder Dragon formation. The thunderstorm had erupted. The Thunder Pearl could trigger the thunderstorm. After Ling Xiao triggered the thunderstorm, he immediately flew out of the valley with Dugu Qiubai, and headed into the distance without looking back. Damn it! Huang Wuji roared furiously, his eyes filled with monstrous fury. The terrifying thunderstorm struck, causing a flaw to appear in the 9-layered Thunder Dragon formation. The purple lightning lion seized the opportunity, and rushed out of the 9-layered Thunder Dragon formation. Roar! 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 The purple lightning lion roared, its eyes blood red. It roared in the endless thunderbolts and charged towards Huang Wuji. Huang Wuji staggered and then ran away. The purple lightning lion was smart. Although it was furious and wanted to kill the humans who imprisoned it, it knew that it was no match for them. If it continued to stay, it would probably be captured by them. Therefore, it chose to run away. In the valley, the thunderstorm was raging. Ling Xiao, Dugu Qiubai, and the purple lightning lion had all run away. Only the screams of the disciples of the 9 imperial obelisk and the roars of Huang Wuji were left. Ling Xiao and Dugu Qiubai did not stay and returned to the Divine Firmament Palace. Swoosh! However, when Ling Xiao and Dugu Qiubai entered the remnant of the formation, they suddenly realized that the purple lightning lion had followed them in without them noticing. Roar! The purple lightning lion rushed into the remnant formation and roared at Ling Xiao and Dugu Qiubai. There was a trace of gratitude and vigilance in its eyes. It knew that Ling Xiao had triggered the thunderstorm to save it. However, it was instinctively wary of humans. This guy actually knows how to hide his aura? Ling Xiao was a little surprised. The purple lightning lion in front of him was not as majestic as before. It had actually shrunk to 3 feet in size, looking like a puppy. Its purple fur was very soft, like satin, and it had a fluffy lion head. Its eyes were wide open, and its body was round. It looked very cute. This guy hid his aura and hid in the lightning. He followed Ling Xiao and Duguqiubai all the way to the Divine Firmament Palace. I can't give you this true phoenix stone. I have great use for it, so just treat it as a reward for saving you. What do you think? Ling Xiao thought for a while and smiled at the purple lightning lion. The purple lightning lion nodded, then shook its head. It stood in front of Ling Xiao and Duguqiubai, looking adorable. It just didn't want to leave. Are you trying to follow us? Ling Xiao asked tentatively. This purple lightning lion was an ancient mutant. It was very powerful. It looked like it hadn't reached maturity yet, but it already had the strength of a third revolution half-saint. Once it reached maturity, it would be a demonic saint. Even Huang Wuji coveted it, and wanted to catch it as a mount. Can you bring me outside to have a look? But I don't want to be anyone's mount. Suddenly, a child's voice was heard in Ling Xiao's mind. It sounded a little childish, like a child's voice. You are the purple lightning lion? Ling Xiao was slightly stunned. Yes, it's me. I want to go outside with you, but you can't bully me. If you do, I'll beat you up. The purple lightning lion said in its childish voice. It then waved its little paw to show off its power. All right. Then you can follow me from now on. But you have to be obedient. Otherwise, I'll throw you away. Ling Xiao said after some thought. He and Duguqiubai looked at each other with a strange look in their eyes. This was an ancient mutant purple lightning lion. How could it follow Ling Xiao so easily? Huang Wuji tried his best to tame the purple lightning lion but failed. In the end, the purple lightning lion escaped. Now it had followed Ling Xiao so easily. If Huang Wuji knew about this, he would be so depressed that he would vomit blood. Ling Xiao and Duguqiubai walked into the Divine Firmament Palace together. The purple lightning lion followed behind them obediently. Its eyes were full of curiosity. In the sacred hall, Ling Xiao and Duguqiubai met Elder Lei again. Elder Lei, this is the Dragon Blood Thunder Iron and the True Phoenix Stone. Take a look. Ling Xiao's hand flashed as he took out the Dragon Blood Thunder Iron and the True Phoenix Stone. In an instant, the sound of a dragon and a phoenix resonated. The light was so dazzling that it lit up the entire sacred hall. It is indeed the Dragon Blood Thunder Iron and the True Phoenix Stone. You have even tamed the purple lightning lion. Not bad, not bad. You have passed the first test. Elder Lei said with a smile. There was a hint of satisfaction in his eyes. Elder Lei, what is the second test? Duguqiubai asked slowly. Do you know why I asked you to find the Dragon Blood Thunder Iron and the True Phoenix Stone? Elder Lei did not answer directly. Instead, he asked a question of his own. The Dragon Blood Thunder Iron and the True Phoenix Stone are treasured metals of extreme yang and yin. They can be used to refine top-grade sage treasures. At the same time, they are the combination of yin and yang. Could it be that they have other uses? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed with a divine light. The Divine Firmament Sage cultivates both the Tao of Lightning and the Tao of Swords. He has extremely profound attainments in both. The Dragon Blood Thunder Iron contains the Tao of Lightning and is a treasure used to refine lightning-type sage treasures. The True Phoenix Stone is a top-grade treasure used to refine swords. The second test will test your understanding of the Tao of Lightning and the Tao of Swords. Elder Lei smiled faintly. Could it be the Sword Pavilion and the Lightning Pool? Ling Xiao thought of the two sealed houses. The Sword Pavilion and the Lightning Pool both had powerful seals. That's right. Your second test is to use the Dragon Blood Thunder Iron and the True Phoenix Stone to open the Sword Pavilion or the Lightning Pool. The Sword Pavilion has the Sect Returning Swords Array, and the Lightning Pool has the Bombardment of Lightning Array. Only when your understanding of the Tao of Swords and Lightning has reached the peak can you withstand the power of these two arrays. You will pass the second test if you bring the items from the arrays to me. Elder Lei said slowly. Okay. Ling Xiao and Duguqiubai nodded in agreement. Duguqiubai naturally chose to use the True Phoenix Stone to enter the Sword Pavilion and take the Sect Returning Swords Array test. Meanwhile, Ling Xiao chose to use the Dragon Blood Thunder Iron to enter the Lightning Pool and take the Bombardment of Lightning Array test. However, Ling Xiao could not help but feel that something was amiss. He did not know what it was exactly. Big brother Dugu, be careful. Ling Xiao said seriously to Dugu Qiubai. You too. Chapter 16:15. Crack. The sword pavilion's powerful seal shattered instantly in front of the true phoenix stone. The true phoenix stone was like the key to opening the sword pavilion, allowing Dugu Qiubai to enter easily. Ling Xiao also entered the lightning pool with the dragon blood lightning essence iron. Rumble. Dazzling light shone in front of him as the void trembled. Bolts of lightning as thick as mountains pierced through the sky, exuding a terrifying destructive power. In front of Ling Xiao, an incomparably gigantic lightning pool appeared. It was ancient and mysterious, like a vast lake. Resplendent lightning tribulation liquid flowed within the lightning pool like nectar. Ling Xiao could vaguely sense that there was a very powerful treasure in the center of the lightning pool. Boom, boom, boom. As if sensing Ling Xiao's aura, the originally calm lightning pool began to boil. Bolts of lightning shone brightly, exuding powerful energy waves. Ling Xiao could sense that an extremely mysterious and ancient array formation had awakened in the lightning pool. Dazzling light shone and heaven and earth trembled. Bolts of lightning seemed to emanate from the void. Ling Xiao felt a very mysterious aura, as if it was enveloping all life in the world. Tribulation aura. Only lightning that was infused with tribulation aura could be called heavenly lightning tribulation. Otherwise, it could only be ordinary lightning. Although it could be very destructive, it could not be used to break through at all. The so-called lightning tribulation was to allow the person undergoing the tribulation to comprehend a higher realm at the moment of life and death. Only then could they break through and reach the peak. The mysterious power in the lightning pool had awakened, and each bolt of lightning contained a bolt of tribulation aura. There were more than tens of thousands of bolts of lightning in the void. This was the bombardment lightning array. It used the power of the sage Dao to unleash the power of billions of lightning tribulations. It was extremely terrifying. Tribulation aura? What a great opportunity! Ling Xiao's eyes lit up as he faced the bombardment lightning array. He was a little excited. There were tens of thousands of bolts of tribulation aura here. He did not know whether it was left behind by the divine firmament saint or formed by the bombardment lightning array over countless years. Such a terrifying lightning tribulation was enough to kill a half-sage, but it was a great opportunity for Ling Xiao. Rumble. Ling Xiao blasted out a punch. His fist was incomparably powerful, and directly blasted apart a powerful lightning tribulation. Then he used the myriad tribulation's indestructible saint technique to devour the tribulation chi. The myriad thunderclap array was very mysterious. It contained the power of the lightning Dao. Perhaps the divine firmament saint's original intention was to let people experience the lightning Dao's origin through the tribulation transcendence within the myriad thunderclap array. However, he did not expect Ling Xiao to be able to devour the tribulation aura. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Strands of tribulation chi were extracted by Ling Xiao. They were as sharp as blades as they merged into Ling Xiao's body. After circulating in Ling Xiao's body, they were refined by the Kulpa indestructible saint technique, and began to refine Ling Xiao's body. Purple light rose from Ling Xiao's left arm. As he continued to devour the tribulation chi, his left arm seemed to have been torn apart by billions of streaks of sword light. It would then reform. His body became even more resilient during this process. 100 strands of tribulation chi, 1,000 strands of tribulation chi, 5,000 strands of tribulation chi. Ling Xiao sat cross-legged in the lightning pool. He did not resist the power of the myriad thunderclap array at all. Instead, he chose to use his body to withstand the power of the lightning tribulation. At the same time, he used the heaven-devouring mystic technique to devour the lightning energy within the lightning pool. This was the purest lightning energy. No one knew how many years it had been accumulated. It was endless and extremely pure. After being refined and devoured by the heaven-devouring mystic technique, Ling Xiao's cultivation level soared. Mid-stage Divine King Realm. Late-stage Divine King Realm. Perfected Divine King Realm. As Ling Xiao continued to devour the energy in the pool of lightning, his presence became more and more terrifying. In particular, He had refined over 10,000 strands of tribulation chi, which had tempered his 4 limbs. They contained extremely terrifying energy, as if he could shatter the sky with a single punch, and shatter the earth with a single stomp. This myriad thunderclap array had completely become Ling Xiao's great fortuitous opportunity and great fortune. Ling Xiao entered a state of cultivation. It was as if he had forgotten about time and everything else. His aura was extremely mysterious. Streaks of lightning gathered around him and formed an extremely mysterious shadow behind him. The Lightning Emperor's shadow. As the energy within the lightning pool gathered, the illusory figure gradually became clearer. As long as the Lightning Emperor's shadow could comprehend the Lightning Dao origin energy and refine enough lightning energy, he could condense the Lightning Emperor's real body. He would be able to unleash 10 or even 100 times his combat strength. Take Huang Wuji for example. If he could condense the Lightning Emperor's real body, he would be able to fight a 3rd Revolution half-saint with his cultivation level of 1st Revolution half-saint. He might even be able to kill a 3rd Revolution half-saint. This was the terror of the Lightning Emperor's real body. It was said that the Lightning Emperor's technique was actually passed down by one of the 9 emperors, the Lightning Emperor. It was called the Lightning Emperor's technique. However, the Lightning Emperor's technique had been lost for a long time. An ancestor of the 9 imperial gates used the incomplete Lightning Emperor's technique as a foundation to comprehend a peerless saint technique. Ling Xiao obtained the inheritance of the Lightning Emperor's technique. Although he mainly refined the tribulation chi and raised his cultivation level in the lightning pool, due to the vast amount of lightning energy in the lightning pool, his comprehension of the Lightning Emperor's technique had improved by leaps and bounds. Gotcha! After an unknown period of time, Ling Xiao slowly opened his eyes. It was as if 2 bolts of lightning had pierced through the void. It was mysterious and majestic. Ling Xiao had devoured all the liquid in the pool of lightning. His cultivation had reached the great perfection of God King as well, so all the energy that had been nurtured in the pool of lightning for countless years had been devoured and refined by him. Over 10,000 strands of tribulation chi had refined all of his limbs. Ling Xiao even felt that he could condense a tribulation seed if he wanted to. However, Ling Xiao resisted the temptation. He decided that he had to refine his entire body before condensing a perfect tribulation seed. This was the best opportunity to refine his body. Ling Xiao did not want to let it go. Ling Xiao wanted his body to reach sainthood, so he knew that every step had to be done perfectly. Only then could his body reach sainthood. Is this the treasure in the lightning pool? A gleam of light flashed through Ling Xiao's eyes. He devoured all the lightning liquid in the lightning pool, and an ancient stone box appeared in the center. Ling Xiao opened the box and discovered a violet key inside. The violet key was extremely ancient. It pulsed with extremely mysterious pulses. There were characters on it, and the mysterious symbols seemed to contain the laws of the world. The key of the Lightning Emperor. The moment Ling Xiao saw the key, 2 words naturally appeared in his head. The key of the Lightning Emperor? What's that? Is it related to the Lightning Emperor? Chapter 16:16. Ling Xiao came out of the lightning pool with the key of the Lightning Emperor. Duguqiubai had already come out of the sword depository with a strange stone in his hand. It shone brightly and exuded a vast sword intent. Moreover, Ling Xiao felt that Duguqiubai had become more harmonious. His aura was unfathomable, and he was no longer as arrogant as before. The sword intent around him could be perfectly concealed. His aura was perfect, and he had improved in swordsmanship. It seemed that Duguqiubai had also obtained a great opportunity in the sword depository. Ling Xiao, what did you get from the lightning pool? I found a piece of Heaven Sword Stone. This Heaven Sword Stone actually contains the Heaven Sword secret technique. Duguqiubai glanced at the holy hall in the distance, and sent a voice transmission to Ling Xiao. Heaven Sword Stone, Heaven Sword Mystic Technique. Ling Xiao was shocked. Divine Firmament Palace actually has the Heaven Sword Mystic Technique? Did the Divine Firmament Saint also cultivate the Heaven Sword Mystic Technique? What puzzled Ling Xiao was that according to Old Lei, the Divine Firmament Saint was the Celestial Thearch's general. However, the Celestial Thearch and the Lightning Emperor were not from the same era. Why would the key of the Lightning Emperor be in the lightning pool? I found this, the key of the Lightning Emperor. Ling Xiao took out the key of the Lightning Emperor and sent a voice transmission to Duguqiubai. Don't you think that old Lei is lying? I suspect that he is not Divine Firmament Palace's artifact spirit. Duguqiubai sent a telepathic message with a sharp glint in his eyes. Big brother Dugu, you can tell? I do have my suspicions, but old Lei hid it very well. I might have guessed his true identity. Let's go and meet this old Lei. Ling Xiao sneered and walked toward the holy hall with Duguqiubai. All right. I will give you this Heaven Sword Stone. Let's see what this old Lei is up to. Duguqiubai said slowly. There seemed to be a dazzling sword aura in his eyes that pierced through the void. In the holy hall, old Lei was still sitting high up in the seat of honor. His white robe was flawless, and his aura was unfathomable. He looked otherworldly. Old Lei, we were fortunate enough to not let you down. We've already found these 2 treasures from the lightning pool and the sword pavilion. The key of the Lightning Emperor and the Heavenly Sword Stone. With a flash of light, the key of the Lightning Emperor and the Heavenly Sword Stone appeared in Ling Xiao's hands. Very good. Haha. You really didn't disappoint me. You've finally obtained the key of the Lightning Emperor and the Heavenly Sword Stone. You can be considered to have passed the 2nd test. Now hand them over to me. I'll tell you the contents of the 3rd test. Elder Lei laughed out loud, his eyes filled with satisfaction. Ling Xiao's heart skipped a beat. At this moment, he finally sensed the passion and desire in old Lei's heart. It was as if he wanted to obtain the key of the Lightning Emperor and the Celestial Sword Stone right now. There was indeed something wrong with this Elder Lei. Ling Xiao smiled faintly and said, Old Lei, the key of the Thunder Emperor and the Heaven Sword Stone are here. Please take them. Elder Lei's expression changed slightly, but he still said indifferently, hand them over to me. Young people need to know how to respect their seniors. Only by handing them over can you show your sincerity. Buzz. With a flash of light, the key of the Lightning Emperor and the Heaven Sword Stone were put away by Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao stood there without saying a word. He looked at Elder Lei with a faint smile. What do you mean by this? The smile on Elder Lei's face froze. His eyes revealed a trace of majesty. Elder Lei, I think you can't leave that seat. That's why you want to trick me into giving you the key of the Lightning Emperor and the Heaven Sword Stone, right? Ling Xiao said indifferently. Elder Lei looked deeply at Ling Xiao, then smiled faintly and said, Kid, you really know how to joke. As the device spirit of the Divine Firmament Palace, I can control everything in the Divine Firmament Palace. Why can't I leave this seat? Stop joking. Hand over the key of the Lightning Emperor and the Heaven Sword Stone to me. I'm not joking. Moreover, you're not the device spirit of the Divine Firmament Palace, Lord Thunder Spirit King. Ling Xiao looked at Elder Lei and said calmly. When he said the words Lord Thunder Spirit King, he emphasized them. Ling Xiao's voice was earth-shattering. Instantly, Elder Lei and Duguqiubai's expressions changed. What? You said he's the Thunder Spirit King? Duguqiubai's eyes flashed. Apparently, he was also shocked by Ling Xiao's words. Rumble. Elder Lei's aura became incomparably berserk. Bolts of lightning blazed, and his entire body emitted a dignified, ancient, and terrifying aura. His originally kind and amiable face disappeared, and his entire aura became extremely terrifying. 7 colored chains appeared around him, binding him to the seat of honor. There was no way for him to leave at all. It's really the Thunder Spirit King. Ling Xiao's eyes shone with divine light. At this moment, Elder Lei's aura was extremely powerful. It was the same as the Thunder Spirit King outside, but more unfathomable. It was the legendary Thunder Spirit King in the Divine Firmament Valley. Ling Xiao's guess was also verified. Roar! The purple lightning lion, who had been hiding at the side, had its hair standing on end. It roared at Elder Lei, its eyes full of vigilance. I didn't expect that it would still be in vain in the end. Kid, how did you see through my identity? I thought that I didn't reveal any flaws? The Thunder Spirit King stared at Ling Xiao and said coldly, You didn't reveal any flaws? You have too many flaws. Even if the Divine Firmament Palace's artifact spirit carried out the Divine Firmament Saints will to test us. Why would he make such a childish test? He asked us to search for the Dragon Blood Lightning Essence Iron, the True Phoenix Stone, the Lightning Emperor's Key, and the Heaven Sword Stone. They were all interconnected. They were all looking for treasures. Although we did get some benefits, it doesn't look like the Divine Firmament Saint was looking for a successor. It looks more like you wanted to get something. If I'm not wrong, I'm afraid that the Lightning Emperor's Key and the Heaven Sword Stone are the keys to unlock the seals and chains on your body? Ling Xiao smiled faintly. His eyes were filled with wisdom. Even if you have these suspicions, how can you be sure that I'm the Thunder Spirit King? The Thunder Spirit King's eyes were filled with unwillingness. He was just one step away, but this cunning kid saw through it. I guessed it. I didn't expect that you couldn't help but jump out. A strange look appeared in Ling Xiao's eyes. When the Thunder Spirit King heard Ling Xiao's words, he was so depressed that he almost vomited blood. He didn't expect that in the end. It was all because of this kid's suspicions. In the end, he really thought that Ling Xiao had recognized him as the Thunder Spirit King, so he revealed his true identity. Cunning human kid, you deserve to die. The Thunder Spirit King roared angrily. His eyes were filled with flames of anger. Thunder Spirit King, I'm really curious. What is your relationship with the Divine Firmament Palace? Is this really the Divine Firmament Saint's place of inheritance? Chapter 16-17. In the beginning, the Thunder Spirit King had hidden himself very well. Even Ling Xiao did not notice his identity. However, as he kept interacting with him, especially after Ling Xiao took out the key of the Lightning Emperor and the Sky Sword Stone, Ling Xiao instantly noticed the Thunder Spirit King's aura. Although the Thunder Spirit King was very powerful, Ling Xiao thought that he was only equivalent to a 9th refinement half-sage. He was not a real sage and could not hide his aura perfectly. However, Ling Xiao was also very curious. Why was the Thunder Spirit King sealed in this sacred hall? What was his relationship with the Divine Firmament Saint? Kid, how about we discuss this? As long as you give me the key of the Lightning Emperor and the Sky Sword Stone, I will give you the Divine Firmament Saint's heritage. That is the heritage of a sage and a perfect sage treasure. The Thunder Spirit King suppressed his anger and said to Ling Xiao patiently, Thunder Spirit King, you did not intend to give us the Divine Firmament Saint's heritage right from the start, right? I know what you are thinking. You want to trick us into helping you get the key of the Lightning Emperor and the Sky Sword Stone so that you can escape from the seal. Then, you will kill us and take the heritage for yourself, right? Ling Xiao smiled coldly. Don't worry, I can swear on my mental demon oath. I will never hurt you. The Thunder Spirit King quickly said. He had been trapped here for countless years and was about to go crazy. Sorry, I don't believe you. Also, I really don't care about the heritage of a sage. Ling Xiao said with a faint smile. He had already taken advantage of the situation. This Thunder Spirit King was a cunning old fox. Ling Xiao and Duguqiubai had almost been tricked by him. If he was released, who knew what kind of trouble he would cause? Ling Xiao did not want to take the risk. Big brother Dugu, let's go. Let this guy continue to be trapped here. Maybe in a few 100,000 years, some idiot will break in to save him. Ling Xiao said with a smile. He called out to Duguqiubai and turned to leave. Bastard, despicable human, you deserve to die. When I get out, I will tear you into pieces. The Thunder Spirit King roared. He was about to go crazy. Rumble. Terrifying saintly might filled the air around him. Bolts of lightning were blazing, causing the entire sacred hall to tremble violently. However, the 7 colored chains around him were dazzling, firmly binding him to the chair. There was no way for him to leave. Let's talk about it after you get out. Ling Xiao smiled coldly and left the sacred hall without looking back. Brat, don't even think about leaving Divine Firmament Palace. I'm going to trap you here until you die. As long as you dare to take a single step, those lightning spirits will tear you to pieces. The Thunder Spirit King's eyes were filled with coldness. His whole body was emitting a strange wave. In a flash, the jade on Ling Xiao's body was broken. The lightning spirits were not afraid of the divine path chi within the jade pendant. It was because it contained a trace of the Lightning Spirit King's power. The Lightning Spirit King was the king of all the lightning spirits. Naturally, the lightning spirits would not dare to attack Ling Xiao. But now, the Divine Firmament Jade Pendant was broken. Even if Ling Xiao were to leave the Divine Firmament Palace, as soon as he stepped out of the broken matrix, he would be attacked by those thunder spirits. This is a little troublesome. Duguqiubai frowned slightly. With the Divine Firmament Jade Pendant broken, the lightning spirits outside were extremely powerful. Among them, there was even a golden lightning spirit that was comparable to a mid-level half-saint. Although Ling Xiao and Duguqiubai were not weak, it was impossible for them to withstand the attacks of so many lightning spirits. The broken matrix covers a large area. It's impossible for there to be lightning spirits everywhere. Let's see if we can find the weak point of the broken matrix and quickly leave this place. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he said slowly, "Crack." At this moment, the broken matrix in the distance trembled violently. Bolts of lightning rose, containing an extremely terrifying destructive power. A figure with blazing lightning around his body and an extremely terrifying aura stepped on the sky and arrived at Divine Firmament Palace in an instant. That was a perfect and flawless man. He was wearing a purple gold armor. His body was slender and handsome. His body was emitting a sparkling luster. His purple hair danced wildly like flowing lightning, intertwining with dazzling light. His face was very handsome. His eyes were as deep as the starry sky. His whole body was emitting an extremely powerful aura. The peak of the 6th Revolution half-saint. He is Zhan Tianqing? Ling Xiao's eyes trembled slightly. Although he had never seen Zhan Tianqing before, he immediately knew that this man was Zhan Tianqing. Zhan Tianqing also noticed Ling Xiao and Duguqiubai. He instantly took a step forward. Purple lightning surged as he appeared in front of Ling Xiao and Duguqiubai. Disciple of War God Hall? Who are you? Zhan Tianqing said nonchalantly with an air of superiority. You are Senior Brother Zhan Tianqing? Senior Brother Zhan, I finally get to meet you. You are my idol. You may not know me, but I am Hu Qing, a new inner disciple and also a member of Thunder Hall. Senior Brother Zhan, you're a heaven-defying martial artist with a peerless demeanor. My admiration for you is like a torrential river. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed with admiration and fanaticism. He quickly bowed deeply to Zhan Tianqing and began to praise him. Duguqiubai's eyes widened in shock. It was as if this was the first time he saw Ling Xiao like this. Zhan Tianqing was a little embarrassed by Ling Xiao's praise. He had never met such an unabashed admirer before. Instantly, a look of satisfaction appeared in his cold eyes. He smiled faintly and said, Hu Qing, right? How did you guys get in here? I have never seen you before. Show me your God of War token. Boom. Ling Xiao's body shone brightly. Bolts of lightning intertwined with each other. The 5 elements divine lightning appeared in his palms. He immediately unleashed the power of the 5 thunder heavenly spirit technique. Senior Brother Zhan, look. My 5 thunder heavenly spirit technique still needs your guidance. You don't know this, but the 2 of us came to the Godfiend space to train and accidentally entered Divine Cloud Valley. In the end, we were captured by Divine Cloud Palace's Thunder Spirit King. That Thunder Spirit King is extremely vicious and has taken the Divine Cloud Saint's heritage. Senior Brother Zhan, I think only you are worthy of the Divine Cloud Saint's heritage. As long as you kill Thunder Spirit King, you will definitely be able to obtain the entire Divine Cloud Palace's treasures. Ling Xiao spoke without stopping. He exuded the 5 Thunder Heavenly Spirit Technique's aura, which made Zhan Tianqing less vigilant. He confirmed that Hu Qing was indeed a disciple of Combat God Hall. Ling Xiao also used the sky-shrouding mystic art to perfectly conceal his aura, so Zhan Tianqing did not notice anything wrong. He originally wanted to check Ling Xiao's God of War token, but once he heard about Thunder Spirit King and the Divine Cloud Saint's heritage, his attention was instantly attracted. The Thunder Spirit King actually got the Divine Cloud Saint's heritage? Damn it. Zhan Tianqing's eyes turned cold, revealing a trace of murderous intent. Chapter 16-18. Senior Brother Zhan, follow me. The Thunder Spirit King has been trapped by some kind of array formation. He is at his weakest now. If you kill him, the Divine Firmament Saint's heritage will be yours. Only senior brother Jean is worthy of the divine firmament saint's heritage. After Ling Xiao finished speaking, he looked extremely anxious. After exchanging a glance with Dugu Qiubai, he flew straight into the sacred hall. Zhan Tianxing's eyes were extremely cold as he followed Ling Xiao into the divine firmament palace. Dugu Qiubai's eyes lit up. He could see that Ling Xiao was trying to get Zhan Tianxing to fight with Thunder Spirit King. However, would Zhan Tianxing really believe that Ling Xiao was trying to get Zhan Tianxing to fight? Big brother Dugu, regardless of whether Zhan Tianxing believes it or not, we are only God Kings after all. He is confident that he can control us, so he will definitely be careless. And he will definitely be tempted by the divine firmament saint's heritage. Let's see how he fights with the Thunder Spirit King. Maybe we can even be the fisherman. Ling Xiao transmitted his voice to Dugu Qiubai. His voice was filled with confidence. All right. I hope you don't play with fire. This Zhan Tianxing is extremely powerful. We are no match for him. Dugu Qiubai smiled bitterly. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Ling Xiao, Dugu Qiubai, and Zhan Tianxing flew back into the sacred hall. Ah, cunning human. You can't get out with so many thunder spirits protecting you. If you know what's good for you, let me out obediently. Otherwise, you will all die. The Thunder Spirit King sneered when he saw Ling Xiao return. Thunder Spirit King, don't be so arrogant. If you know what's good for you, hand over the divine firmament saint's heritage. Our senior brother Zhan Tianxing is a peerless prodigy of the combat god shrine. Not only will he become a sage in the future, but he will also become a Varch and dominate the world. Our senior brother Zhan is your blessing. Otherwise, you will die today. Ling Xiao shouted at the Thunder Spirit King. A mere sixth refinement half-sage dares to be so arrogant in front of me? If I am free, I can crush you with one finger. Knowing that Zhan Tianxing was Ling Xiao's helper, Thunder Spirit King stared at Zhan Tianxing and laughed coldly. You are the Thunder Spirit King? Looks like you've been trapped by the array formation left behind by the Divine Firmament Saint. You brought this upon yourself. Hand over the Divine Firmament Saint's heritage or die. Zhan Tianxing stared at Thunder Spirit King and said slowly. He was also a scheming person. Although he had many doubts about Ling Xiao and Dugu Qiubai's identities, the most important thing now was the Divine Firmament Saint's legacy. As long as he could obtain the Divine Firmament Saint's legacy, everything else was just a side issue. Moreover, he could tell that Ling Xiao was indeed a disciple of the War God Hall. He could crush two divine kings with a single hand, so he did not take them seriously. Moreover, he didn't think that the disciples of the War God Hall would dare to deceive him. Now Zhan Tianxing had confirmed that the Divine Firmament Saint's heritage was in the Thunder Spirit King's hands. He did not care about the Thunder Spirit King at all. He was already prepared to snatch the Divine Firmament Saint's heritage from the Thunder Spirit King. You want me to hand over the Divine Firmament Saint's heritage? Aha! Who do you think you are? If it wasn't for this king being trapped by this damned array, you would already be a dead man. The Thunder Spirit King was furious, and his eyes were filled with cold murderous intent. You don't know what's good for you. Since you don't want to hand it over, I'll send you on your way. Zhan Tianxing's eyes turned cold, and the cold aura around him exploded. Bolts of lightning rose up. At the same time, his body emitted rays of purple light. His aura was majestic, and his body was like a dragon. It contained an invincible energy wave. He punched toward the Thunder Spirit King. Zhan Tianxing has already formed a tribulation seed? Ling Xiao's eyes narrowed. He had also cultivated the indestructible sage technique, so he could naturally feel how powerful Zhan Tianxing's body was now. That was the tribulation aura spreading all over his body, and he had already formed a tribulation seed. Therefore, Zhan Tianxing's punch was extremely terrifying. His body was even stronger than Ling Xiao's. Damn it! The Thunder Spirit King was enraged, and his eyes were filled with murderous intent. The aura around him became extremely violent. Now that he was trapped by the array, he was like a tiger that was bullied by dogs. It was as if he had become a live target, and he could only passively block Zhan Tianxing's attacks. Thunder Spirit King was incomparably arrogant. His strength was also extremely terrifying. Before he was trapped by the formation, Even a high-level half-saint would be torn to pieces if he broke into the divine cloud valley. This human kid, who was just a mere 6th transformation half-sage, was too arrogant. Crack! The Thunder Spirit King's body was filled with lightning, and the light was extremely bright. Zhang Tianxing's punch landed on the Thunder Spirit King's body, and instantly, endless lightning exploded. The Thunder Spirit King did not seem to be affected at all. His body shook slightly and returned to normal. Kid, you can't even break through my defense with your 6th transformation half-sage cultivation. You want to kill me? You're overestimating yourself. The Thunder Spirit King sneered. Although he was trapped by the formation and couldn't attack, he could still passively defend himself. In particular, he was a Thunder Spirit King who had comprehended the power of the origin of the Way of Thunder. If it weren't for the restriction, it was even possible for him to become a saint. Even Zhang Tianxing had not been able to break through the defense formed by his lightning. Really? You're indeed very strong. But it's a pity that you're just a spiritual body without a physical body. I have 10,000 ways to play you to death. Zhang Tianxing sneered. Whoosh! A light flashed in his palm, and a purple gold war spear appeared, exuding a powerful saint aura. Its aura was extremely terrifying, and it was flowing with a power that could make one's mind tremble, as if it could destroy one's primordial spirit. This spear is called the Soul Destroyer Spear. I'd like to see how many of my spears you can block. Zhang Tianxing said coldly, and the purple gold war spear in his hand shone brightly. In an instant, the spear flickered, and it pierced towards the Thunder Spirit King's glabella like lightning. The Soul Destroyer Spear was extremely lethal to spiritual bodies, and it was also a powerful flawless holy treasure. Even the Thunder Spirit King's expression changed slightly. He was trapped by the array, and he was like a live target. He could not attack, and he could not escape. Although he could passively defend himself, spiritual bodies were indeed most afraid of treasures that could attack one's primordial spirit. Boom! The Thunder Spirit King gritted his teeth, and a golden blood mist spurted out from his mouth. In an instant, it condensed into a golden talisman in the void. It shone brightly, and it was extremely thick, and it blocked in front of his glabella. The Soul Destroyer Spear pierced the golden talisman, and in an instant, an unparalleled divine power exploded. The golden talisman exploded, and the Soul Destroyer Spear was blown away. Tease, you're actually using your natal true blood to resist my Soul Destroyer Spear. Looks like you're at your wit's end. How much true blood do you have to defend against it? Chapter 1619. Ling Xiao, it seems like Thunder Spirit King is no match for Zhang Tianxing. If this goes on, Thunder Spirit King will be killed by Zhang Tianxing sooner or later. Dugu Qiubai's eyes flashed as he said slowly, Brother Dugu, come with me. Zhang Tianxing's strength is indeed powerful, but I have sensed the gap in the array that imprisoned Thunder Spirit King. Although we can't let him out directly, the array that imprisoned him has weakened a lot. As long as we add more fuel to the fire, Thunder Spirit King should be able to get out. At that time, we can sit on the mountain and watch the tigers fight. Ling Xiao smiled faintly as he transmitted his voice to Dugu Qiubai. Oh, you can actually find the gap in the array? This is really good news. Dugu Qiubai was shocked. He and Ling Xiao quietly left the Saint Hall. These two are really strange. But with their cultivation, they can't escape from the Divine Firmament Palace. I will deal with them after I kill Thunder Spirit King. Zhang Tianxing's eyes flashed with a trace of coldness. He also sensed that Ling Xiao and Dugu Qiubai had left secretly. He sneered in his heart. Hong Long. The Soul Destroyer Spear in his hand was blazing. In an instant, it split into thousands of spear radiances. Each of the radiances was extremely terrifying. They were all aimed at the vital parts of Thunder Spirit King's body. Damn the array. Human brat, I'm going to kill you. Thunder Spirit King roared. His eyes were filled with cold killing intent. He was so depressed that he almost vomited blood. Although his strength was unfathomable, he was trapped by the array. Now he had become a live target in front of Zhang Tianxing. Although Zhang Tianxing was a 6th revolution half-saint, his combat strength was extremely terrifying. In just a short while, he had already injured Thunder Spirit King quite badly. Ling Xiao and Dugu Qiubai left the Saint Hall and came to the Thunder Pool. I have just sensed that the array that imprisoned Thunder Spirit King has a formation eye in the Thunder Pool and the Sword Pavilion. As long as we can destroy one of them, Thunder Spirit King's strength will be enough to escape. Ling Xiao said slowly. When he was cultivating in the Thunder Pool, his heart realm had already covered the entire Thunder Pool, and even the Divine Firmament Palace. His heart realm was extremely powerful. Although he hadn't reached the prominent Divine Firmament realm, he could use his heart realm to see through everything. He had already found the hidden door in the Lightning Pool. The key of the Thunder Emperor and the Heaven Sword Stone were indeed the keys to open the array that imprisoned the Thunder Spirit King, but the Thunder Pool and the Sword Pavilion each had a formation eye. Good. I'll protect you. You can do whatever you want. Dugu Qiubai nodded. Ling Xiao sat cross-legged in the Thunder Pool. His heart world was boundless, and his vast heart force filled the entire Thunder Pool. In Ling Xiao's perception, the Thunder Pool seemed to be shrouded in 2 layers of dazzling light. The outermost layer was vast and deep, with runes rising, containing an unfathomable aura of the divine path. That should be the matrix that covered the entire Divine Firmament Palace. And in the middle layer, there seemed to be a purple rune mist. It vaguely formed a magical confinement power, piercing through the void and connecting with the Thunder Spirit King in the Saint Hall. There was also a golden talisman that was incomparably sharp and contained a monstrous sword essence. It rose up from the Sword Pavilion, and also pierced through the void and entered the Saint Hall. These 2 runes were the 2 formation eyes that imprisoned the Thunder Spirit King. Boom! Ling Xiao's aura rose, and the heaven-devouring secret skill broke out. He reached out his hand and grabbed at the void. Suddenly, a chaotic vortex appeared in his palm and grabbed at the purple rune. The lightning was blazing, and the power of the matrix burst out, as if it was going to crush Ling Xiao's arm. Although the power of the matrix had been weakened for countless years, it still had the power to kill a half-saint. Ling Xiao's arm had been tempered by the disaster qi, and it was extremely strong. It resisted the terrifying power of the matrix, and directly grabbed the purple rune and swallowed it. That purple rune seemed to contain the original power of the Thunder Way. It exploded in Ling Xiao's body in an instant. Bolts of lightning spread out in his body, and covered his whole body. When the formation eye was destroyed, the Thunder Spirit King in the Saint Hall immediately sensed it. Crack! The Thunder Spirit King's body was originally surrounded by chains of order, and his whole body was trapped. Those chains of order were emitting 7-colored light, and there were strange lightning and sword lights. But at this moment, half of the chains of order were broken. The Thunder Spirit King felt relaxed. Although the matrix was not completely broken, he already had some power to fight back. Ah! Boy, you didn't expect it, did you? Your 2 junior brothers actually helped me break open an array core. Is he trying to make us 2 tigers fight each other, so that he can reap the benefits of a fisherman's quarrel? But I'm afraid he's wrong. Not only will you die, but they will die too. The Thunder Spirit King was overjoyed, and he sneered at Zhang Tianxing. Rumble! A terrifying aura was emitted from the Thunder Spirit King's body. Bolts of lightning surrounded his body. There were silver bolts of lightning, golden bolts of lightning, and even black bolts of lightning. It made him look like a saint who could control lightning. His words were law, and his power was unparalleled. Facing Zhang Tianxing's Soul Destroyer Spear, he immediately threw out a punch. Bolts of lightning were released, and blocked the Soul Destroyer Spear's full power attack. What? That Hu Qing? Damn it! Zhang Tianxing's face instantly turned gloomy, and his eyes were filled with killing intent. Although he was confused about how Ling Xiao, who was only a divine king, could break the formation eye, he was even angrier. He, Zhang Tianxing, was fooled by someone? This was unforgivable. In an instant, Ling Xiao was sentenced to death in his heart. Thunder Spirit King, so what if you managed to get out? You still deserve to die. Zhang Tianxing's eyes were filled with killing intent. He suppressed the anger in his heart, and attacked with all his might. The Soul Destroyer Spear shone brightly, and he wanted to completely suppress the Thunder Spirit King. Boom! Zhang Tianxing was unstoppable, and there was an immortal aura around him. His entire body shone brightly, and he held the Soul Destroyer spear in his hand as he charged towards the Thunder Spirit King. Since the Thunder Spirit King had broken the formation eye, he was able to fight back. But the Soul Destroyer spear was too much of a threat to the Thunder Spirit King, and he was still at a disadvantage. Despicable humans, you only managed to break through one of the formation cores. When I escape, I will definitely kill you. The Thunder Spirit King was furious. He did not feel grateful that Ling Xiao had broken the formation eye. Instead, he was even angrier. He understood Ling Xiao's plan. Ling Xiao wanted him to use up his strength to break the formation eye. Then both of them would be injured. Chapter 16:20. Boom. Zhan Tianxing's qi and blood filled the air. Beams of sparkling light flew out from his body and landed on the Thunder Spirit King. Suddenly, a bright light bloomed like a rain of swords. Thunder Spirit King roared. Suddenly, a strange sound wave exploded in the air. The air shook at the same time, and the sword rain was turned into dust. Then, Thunder Spirit King raised his palm and slapped toward Zhan Tianxing. Bolts of purple lightning flew out from the Thunder Spirit King's palm. Those bolts of lightning seemed to contain the will of the heavens and earth. They turned into immemorial divine beasts in the void and charged towards Zhan Tianxing ferociously. Gotcha. Zhan Tianxing's eyes were extremely sharp. The Soul Destroyer spear shone with boundless holy light. His spear was like a dragon, and its speed was extremely fast. Every spear strike could kill an immemorial divine beast formed by thunder. Eventually, the sky was filled with spear light, and it was still aimed at Thunder Spirit King's forehead. Get out of my way. Thunder Spirit King looked gloomy. He clasped his palms together, and suddenly, a bright thunderbolt exploded. It was surrounded by chaotic colors, and it contained a horrifying destructive power as it shot toward Zhan Tianxing. Boom! The Soul Destroyer spear shattered the thunder light in the sky, and an unparalleled power exploded. The Thunder Spirit King's expression changed drastically, and he could only dodge awkwardly. However, he was still suppressed by the Soul Destroyer spear, and a bloody light appeared on his body. Damn it! The Thunder Spirit King was extremely frustrated. His eyes were filled with killing intent. Kill! Zhan Tianxing's body was surrounded by lightning. He stepped into the air, and held the spear in one hand. His other hand grabbed in the air. Suddenly, purple lightning gathered in his palm. He was like a saint who controlled the thunder of heaven and earth. He attacked the Thunder Spirit King. Suddenly, purple lightning fell from the sky. It was like a vast thunder of heaven. Zhan Tianxing had cultivated the indestructible sacred technique, and had formed a tribulation seed. Therefore, when he used the divine firmament thunder art, it was like he had triggered a powerful lightning tribulation. He launched a destructive attack towards the Thunder Spirit King. Zhan Tianxing also knew that the Thunder Spirit King was extremely powerful, but now that he was being controlled by the array, he could not use more than half of his power. Zhan Tianxing planned to kill him while he was still unable to use his full power. You know the divine firmament thunder art? And no, your divine firmament thunder art is not strong. It's just a fragment. Kid, you are just showing off in front of an expert. Thunder Spirit King's eyes showed a trace of surprise, and then he sneered. Boom. Bolts of lightning spread around him, and the same purple divine lightning appeared in the sky, faintly forming a mysterious figure. It was like a saint who had enlightened all living beings, and controlled the thunder tribulations. It slammed its palm down on Zhan Tianxing. This is the real divine firmament thunder art? You really did get the inheritance, saint. Zhan Tianxing's eyes were fanaticism. Although the divine firmament destructive thunder path of the War God Hall was a peerless sage technique, it had been developed by the War God Hall's ancestral master based on an ancient fragment. The true divine firmament destructive thunder path in the legends might even be a peerless imperial scripture. Based on the clues Zhan Tianxing had found, he hoped to find the true divine firmament destructive thunder path in Divine Cloud Valley. Now, seeing that the Thunder Spirit King's divine lightning spell was even more terrifying, that kind of heavenly power seemed to be able to turn everything into dust, he was not shocked, but happy instead. Thunder Spirit King die. Zhan Tianxing shouted angrily. Suddenly, a purple ancient talisman appeared in his palm. It contained a vast sage aura and flew towards the Thunder Spirit King. That purple ancient talisman contained a wave that could destroy everything. It broke through the void and turned the mysterious figure in the void into dust. Then, it flew towards the Thunder Spirit King. This is the Great Saint's true talisman. You actually have such a treasure? Damn it. Thunder Spirit King's eyes showed a trace of anger, and even a trace of fear. The Great Saint's true talisman is formed by the Great Saint's origin sacred force. Even if a saint doesn't die, he will be severely injured. You are just a Thunder Spirit. How can you resist the Great Saint's true talisman? If you don't surrender, you will die. Zhang Tianxing's eyes were filled with pain. It was not easy for him to get the Great Saint's true talisman. But for the Divine Firmament Saint's legacy, he had to give it his all. Rumble. The purple talisman contained an eternal wave. In an instant, it pierced through the layers of void and imprinted on the Thunder Spirit King's body. It was as if the Thunder Spirit King could not resist at all. A terrifying destructive force spread out, and the Thunder Spirit King exploded. The whole sacred hall shook violently, under the power of the Great Saint's true talisman. Even the array that trapped the Thunder Spirit King was shattered. Buzz. Light shone in the void, and the Thunder Spirit King's figure appeared again. But his aura was extremely weak now. He had suffered an unimaginable injury. You actually have a scapegoat talisman? I knew you wouldn't die so easily. Zhang Tianxing's eyes flashed. He felt the strange wave on the Thunder Spirit King's body. It was the scapegoat talisman's aura. It could save one from certain death. But the power of the Great Saint's true talisman was too terrifying. Even with the scapegoat talisman, the Thunder Spirit King was still severely injured. Despicable human brat. This king has finally escaped from the trap. You've caused this prince to suffer such heavy injuries, so you should just die. The Thunder Spirit King roared, his eyes filled with cold killing intent. His voice was extremely terrifying, causing the whole Divine Firmament Palace to shake. In an instant, the Divine Firmament Palace shone brightly. Mysterious runes lit up one after another. It was as if some mysterious force had awakened in the whole Divine Firmament Palace. Have a taste of the real Divine Firmament Armageddon array. The Thunder Spirit King stared at Zhang Tianxing. Then lightning burst out from his body. In an instant, runes filled the sky and enveloped Zhang Tianxing. How can you activate the Divine Firmament Palace's array? You are just a Thunder Spirit. It is impossible for you to control the Divine Firmament Palace's array. Damn it. Zhang Tianxing's face changed drastically. His expression became extremely ugly. He had calculated everything, but he did not expect the Thunder Spirit King to be able to activate the Divine Firmament Palace's array. After all, according to the information he received, the Thunder Spirit King was actually just a connate life form. He did not have a physical body, and was formed by the Divine Firmament Saint's sage will. It was impossible for him to control the Divine Firmament Palace's array. Nothing is impossible. All of you go to hell. Chapter 16:21. Kacha. Runes rose up one after another. The Divine Firmament Armageddon array's power enveloped the entire Divine Firmament Palace. That terrifying aura seemed to be able to destroy everything. Ling Xiao and Duguqiubai, who were in the lightning pool, could not help but change their expressions. They were in disbelief. The Thunder Spirit King had activated the Divine Firmament Armageddon array in such a crazy manner. He wanted to kill everyone. Swoosh. Ling Xiao's eyes shone brightly. He did not even think about it. 9 ancient stone tablets appeared between his brows. They shone brightly and protected Ling Xiao and Duguqiubai in the middle. Heavenly Dao Chaotic Tablets. These 9 Heavenly Dao Chaotic Tablets had always been in Ling Xiao's mind. However, in order to prevent their aura from leaking out, Ling Xiao had never used them. Now that the Divine Firmament Armageddon array's power was too terrifying, Ling Xiao could not care less. He immediately took out the 9 Heavenly Dao Chaotic Tablets. Streaks of chaotic mist surrounded Ling Xiao and Duguqiubai, protecting them. Thunder Spirit King, you are crazy. Zhang Tianxing's eyes were extremely cold. He could see that when the Thunder Spirit King activated the Divine Firmament Armageddon array, his aura was rapidly weakening. It was obvious that the Thunder Spirit King had paid a huge price. I am not crazy. You despicable humans, you all deserve to die, the Thunder Spirit King said through gritted teeth. He hated Zhang Tianqing and Ling Xiao to the extreme. He wanted to kill them all even if he had to pay a huge price. Rumble. Beams of divine light rose up, as vast as the sea. They enveloped Zhang Tianqing as well. Zhang Tianqing's body emitted a dazzling light. The purple armor on his body was ancient and mysterious. It contained extremely powerful defensive power. However, in front of the divine firmament Armageddon array, it started to crack inch by inch. Poof. No matter how hard Zhang Tianqing tried to resist, he was still hit by the streaks of divine light. He spat out blood. His eyes were extremely cold. He had suffered an unimaginable injury. Thunder Spirit King, just you wait, Zhang Tianqing said hatefully. Light flashed in his hand, and an ancient talisman tore through the void. It wrapped around him, and quickly disappeared from the divine firmament palace. Another great sage talisman? Where did this kid come from? The Thunder Spirit King's eyes were filled with shock. Zhang Tianqing had used a great sage talisman to escape from the divine firmament Armageddon Great Array, which made the Thunder Spirit King feel even more incredulous. This time, it could be said that Zhang Tianqing had gone for wool and come home shorn. He had suffered a huge loss and ended up with nothing. The destructive divine light in the sky dissipated, and the divine firmament Armageddon array's power quickly subsided. The Thunder Spirit King had paid a huge price to activate the array. Coupled with the fact that he had been severely injured by Zhang Tianqing's true talisman of the Great Tao, his aura was extremely weak right now. Even his figure had become somewhat transparent. Those two human brats should be dead too, right? Something's not right. Thunder Spirit King's eyes flashed. He could feel that the entire godly firmament palace had lost all signs of life. He could not help but feel relieved. However, he suddenly felt a sense of danger. His expression immediately changed, and he moved far away. Rumble. There was a dazzling light in the void, and 9 ancient chaotic stone tablets appeared. They contained a thick and ancient energy wave, and they suppressed the Thunder Spirit King. Ling Xiao controlled the 9 chaotic stone tablets, and wanted to kill the Thunder Spirit King in one fell swoop. Swoosh. At the same time, a blazing sword beam shot across the sky. It was intertwined with black and white divine light. It contained 2 types of vast sword intents, one for destruction and one for life. They complemented and countered each other, and it slashed toward the Thunder Spirit King. Ling Xiao and Duga Qiubai had the 9 chaotic stone tablets to protect them, so they were not injured. Instead, they took advantage of the moment when the divine firmament Armageddon array's power dissipated to hide their aura, and launch a fatal attack on the Thunder Spirit King. A flawless sage treasure? Cunning human brat, you deserve to die. The Thunder Spirit King was instantly enraged. He did not expect Ling Xiao and Duga Qiubai to be still alive. Instead, they took advantage of the moment when he was relaxed to launch a sneak attack on him. Rumble. The Thunder Spirit King's body was surrounded by terrifying lightning. He uttered a few gray syllables and suddenly the void shook. Lightning symbols surrounded his body and formed a sea of lightning, enveloping Ling Xiao and Duga Qiubai. However, the power of the 9 Heaven Dao Primal Chaos Tablets was too terrifying. In an instant, it shattered the sea of lightning and smashed onto Thunder Spirit King's body, turning him into dust. Dugu Qiubai's Destruction Sword Dao and Life Sword Dao exploded, and the sword beam covered the entire sacred hall. It was as if all the marks of the Thunder Spirit King were destroyed. Swoosh. However, at that moment, among the dazzling divine light, a white lightning shot toward Ling Xiao's forehead silently. That white lightning was formed by the Thunder Spirit King. He used a secret technique to dodge the power of the 9 chaotic stone tablets and the sword beam. At the same time, he took advantage of the chaos and shot toward Ling Xiao's forehead. Cunning brat, give me your body. The Thunder Spirit King's eyes were filled with cold, murderous intent. He was about to shoot into Ling Xiao's mind in an instant. He wanted to possess Ling Xiao's body. You don't know your place. Ling Xiao had a faint smile on his face. He didn't resist at all, and let the Thunder Spirit King enter his sea of consciousness between his eyebrows. The Thunder Spirit King's heart skipped a beat. He instinctively felt that something was wrong. However, he had already entered Ling Xiao's mind. He immediately revealed his body and pounced toward Ling Xiao's primordial spirit without thinking. As long as he could destroy this brat's primordial spirit and take over his body, he would be able to control this brat completely. The Thunder Spirit King thought to himself, "Kucha." However, at that moment, an ancient and mysterious heavenly book descended from the sky. It emitted a vast nine-colored divine light. It was as if it was immortal and indestructible. Even the Thunder Spirit King's expression changed drastically. "Thunder Spirit King, if you had escaped, I might not have been able to do anything to you. However, I did not expect you to not take the path to heaven and barge into hell. Prepare to die." Ling Xiao laughed coldly. The wordless heavenly book suddenly shone brightly. Billions of rays of light were swallowed up. A huge black hole spun and moved toward the Thunder Spirit King. "Damn it! What is this thing?" "Ah. I know. This is the wordless heavenly book? You are the descendant of the wordless heavenly book." The Thunder Spirit King roared. His eyes revealed a look of disbelief. He finally started to feel fear. Chapter 1622. Boom. The wordless heavenly book was emitting an eternal light. It was vast and ancient. It was as if all the worlds were contained in this book. Even the powerful Thunder Spirit King was as weak as an ant in front of the wordless heavenly book. The Thunder Spirit King was dragged by the wordless heavenly book into the black hole. That flickering presence seemed like it was going to turn all life into dust. The Thunder Spirit King's body was trembling. He could feel that if he was really swallowed by the wordless heavenly book, he would definitely die. "Mercy, I don't want to die. I am willing to surrender to you. As long as you spare my life, I am willing to give you anything." Facing the threat of death, the Thunder Spirit King finally started to beg for mercy. His body was trembling, and his eyes were filled with fear. "Surrender to me? What do I need you for? Anyway, once the wordless heavenly book takes away your memory, I will know everything. Refining you will benefit me even more." Ling Xiao smiled faintly. He did not want to show mercy at all. "Little ancestor, it is my fault. I should not have lied to you. Please spare me. Killing me won't do you any good. I have the battle prowess of a 9th Revolution half-saint. I will kill whoever you want me to kill in the future. I will do whatever you want me to do. I only beg you to spare my life," the Thunder Spirit King quickly said. His eyes were filled with begging. A 9th Revolution half-saint subordinate? Ling Xiao thought for a while. He was hesitating. Seeing that Ling Xiao was a bit hesitant, the Thunder Spirit King seemed to have seen a glimmer of hope. He hurriedly said, "Master, you are brilliant and talented. You are the descendant of the wordless heavenly book. In the future, you will definitely become a saint, or even an invincible great emperor. You will be invincible in this world. I am willing to follow your footsteps," the Thunder Spirit King said with a flattering smile. Ling Xiao was a little speechless. This guy now looked like a wretched old man. His previous majesty and domineering aura were all gone. He had also lost his integrity. In order to survive, he was willing to say anything. "Old man, you're not being honest. What if you betray me? Don't talk to me about the Great Heart Demon Oath. I don't believe that." Ling Xiao looked at Thunder Spirit King and said slowly, "The Great Oath of the Heart Demon was indeed very useful for experts below the Sage Realm. Almost no one dared to disobey it. However, there were many ways for sages to avoid the Great Oath of the Heart Demon. For someone like the Thunder Spirit King, even if he swore the Great Oath of the Heart, Ling Xiao wouldn't believe it. "Master, I'm willing to form a heavenly Dao contract with you." Thunder Spirit King thought for a while and finally said, "Wang." He suddenly spat out a mouthful of golden blood, which condensed into a golden rune in the air. In an instant, a mysterious power of law seemed to descend, and the golden rune slowly floated towards Ling Xiao. The aura of the Thunder Spirit King instantly became weaker. A heavenly Dao contract? A light flashed in Ling Xiao's eyes. After signing the contract, Ling Xiao had officially become the owner of the Thunder Spirit King. From now on, the life and death of the Thunder Spirit King would be in Ling Xiao's hands. Almost no one would choose to sign this kind of contract. Even if one had a godly beast as a mount, it would usually be an equal contract. At most, it would be a master-slave contract. In order to survive, the Thunder Spirit King had really put in a lot of effort. However, other than the threat of life and death, the reason why the Thunder Spirit King was willing to sign a heavenly Dao contract with Ling Xiao was because Ling Xiao was the inheritor of the wordless book. If such a peerless person became his master, he would definitely be able to reach the peak in the future and become one of the most powerful people in his generation. It made him see some hope in future. Ling Xiao thought for a while and directly kept that golden rune into his primordial spirit. He could instantly feel that as long as he willed it, he would be able to control the life and death of the Thunder Spirit King. Master, can you let me go now? The Thunder Spirit King smiled flatteringly. The wordless book above his head always made him feel uneasy and cold. Thunder Spirit King, can you tell me about this divine firmament palace now? Tell me why you are trapped here and the inheritance of the divine firmament saint. Ling Xiao put away the wordless heavenly book and asked calmly, how would I dare to call myself a king in front of Master? Master, just call me Lei Lei or Linger in the future. Don't worry, Master. Whatever you want to know, I will tell you clearly. The Thunder Spirit King flattered him like a dog as he laughed and said, Lei Lei? Ling. Ling Xiao shuddered and felt a chill all over his body. Imagine an old man with white hair and beard being called Lei Lei or Ling. What kind of scene would that be? It was simply unbearable to look at. Cut the crap. Thunder Spirit King sounds better. Hurry up and tell me. Ling Xiao glared at the Thunder Spirit King and said, Hee, Master. This matter started after the Divine Firmament Saint passed away. Before the Divine Firmament Saint passed away, he built this Divine Firmament Palace and left his inheritance for the fated person. The Thunder Spirit King honestly told Yi Chen everything. It turned out that the Divine Firmament Saint was indeed a figure from the 9 Thearchs era. He was extremely powerful and proficient in the lightning and sword Dao. However, his core was injured in the battle with the demon race, and the injury was irreversible. Before he passed away, he built the Divine Firmament Palace and left his inheritance. Meanwhile, the Divine Firmament Saint's Thunder Dao had gathered, and after countless years, it had formed a mystic realm like the Divine Firmament Valley. Countless Thunder Spirits had been born from the Thunder Dao's Thunder Dao. The Thunder Spirit King was a king born from the countless Thunder Spirits. It had also obtained the Divine Firmament Saint's Thunder Dao intent. The Thunder Spirit King's cultivation level stagnated after reaching the 9th refinement half-saint. He was not willing to accept that his cultivation level could not improve, so he took the risk and entered the Divine Firmament Palace to obtain the Divine Firmament Saint's inheritance. However, he did not expect to accidentally trigger the array formation left behind by the Divine Firmament Saint, and was trapped. He was trapped for countless years until Ling Xiao and Duge Qiubai entered the Divine Firmament Palace. Where is the Divine Firmament Saint's inheritance? Ling Xiao looked at the Thunder Spirit King and asked. The Thunder Spirit King felt a little awkward. He stole a glance at Ling Xiao and said, I have refined and absorbed the Dao fruit left behind by the Divine Firmament Saint. I have obtained his most powerful heavenly sword 9 styles, and Divine Firmament Lightning Dao. However, if Master wants to cultivate them, I can teach them to you. The Thunder Spirit King was a little nervous. He was afraid that Ling Xiao would refine him without saying anything. That would be troublesome. Heavenly Sword 9 styles and Divine Firmament Lightning Dao? The Heavenly Sword 9 styles should be the Heavenly Sword secret technique, right? The Divine Firmament Lightning Dao was passed down by the Divine Firmament Saint? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he said slowly. He thought of the Heavenly Sword stone that Duge Qiubai had obtained from the Sword Pavilion. It contained the incomplete Heavenly Sword secret technique. The War God Temple also had the Divine Firmament Lightning Dao. Could it be that they had obtained it from the Divine Firmament Saint? Master is right. The Heavenly Sword 9 styles is the Heavenly Sword secret technique. It's just that Master obtained the incomplete Heavenly Sword secret technique, so his attainment in the Sword Dao is not deep. Meanwhile, Master's Divine Firmament Lightning Dao was passed down from ancient times. It is said that it was a peerless sage technique left behind by a Lightning Dao the Arch. Its power is unparalleled. Your war god temple's divine firmament lightning Tao is probably just an incomplete heavenly sword secret technique. The Thunder Spirit King smiled slightly with a hint of pride in his eyes. Chapter 1623. Ling Xiao smiled faintly. The divine firmament destructive thunder way of the war god hall was indeed incomplete. However, it had been perfected and created by the war god hall's ancestral master. It was probably not much weaker than the original divine firmament destructive thunder way. It was just that its path was different. Otherwise, it would not have been able to become one of the war god hall's 9 great sacred techniques. However, the Thunder Spirit King's divine lightning mantra was still a great reference. If he could compare it with the War God Shrine's divine lightning mantra, then together with the 9-layered Imperial Gate's lightning mantra, Ling Xiao might be able to obtain a peerless heaven art that surpassed a sacred art. Every peerless sacred art in the ancient times was extremely terrifying. It was only second to the legendary Imperial Sutra. Teach me the 9 forms of the heavenly sword and the divine lightning Tao of the War God Shrine. Ling Xiao looked at the Thunder Spirit King and said, Great! Master is so powerful. These 2 peerless sacred arts will definitely shine brightly in your hands. The Thunder Spirit King sucked up to Ling Xiao. Then, there was a bright light between his brows. 2 golden runes floated out and merged into Ling Xiao's mind. Boom! In Ling Xiao's mind, an ancient sword with 9 colors appeared. It was eternal and sharp as if it could cut through heaven and earth. It was a peerless sword technique. That was the 9 forms of the heavenly sword. The moment the 9 forms of the heavenly sword appeared, the wordless book in Ling Xiao's mind also shook slightly. The 9 forms of the heavenly sword was instantly swallowed by the wordless book. It is indeed the incomplete heavenly sword secret art. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he thought to himself. The 9 forms of the heavenly sword might have been perfected and created by the divine firmament saint, but it was still the heavenly sword secret art. There was also a purple lightning bolt that exploded in Ling Xiao's mind. It was surrounded by a faint chaotic fog. Life and destruction coexisted, explaining the mystery of the lightning Tao. Ling Xiao's primordial spirit seemed to be surrounded by blazing lightning. He was like the god of creation who was experiencing the changes of the endless lightning. The true meaning of the divine firmament lightning Tao of the War God Shrine was also absorbed by Ling Xiao. This peerless sacred art was engraved in his primordial spirit and verified with the lightning emperor art. There seemed to be a mysterious connection between them. Master, you actually obtained the lightning emperor technique? However, it's a pity that it's not the lightning imperial sutra. Legend has it that before the lightning emperor attained his Tao, he had also cultivated the divine firmament destructive lightning Tao. Thus, the lightning imperial sutra and the divine firmament destructive lightning Tao have a very deep connection. The Thunder Spirit King was a bit surprised. This master of his was indeed full of luck. He even got the Thunder Emperor spell. Ling Xiao was enlightened. It was as if the divine firmament destructive lightning Tao and the lightning emperor art could be used to verify each other. Ling Xiao's understanding of the lightning Tao had deepened. When Ling Xiao opened his eyes, he had obtained the 9 styles of the heavenly sword and the divine firmament destructive lightning Tao. Ling Xiao, you're finally awake. You have been in seclusion for more than a month. The Thunder Spirit King should have been killed by you, right? Duga Qiubai's voice rang in Ling Xiao's ears. There was a tinge of concern in his eyes. Previously, the Thunder Spirit King had wanted to charge into Ling Xiao's primordial spirit to possess him. Duga Qiubai had not been able to do anything in that situation. Fortunately, he had quickly realized that the Thunder Spirit King's aura had weakened. Ling Xiao was not affected at all. Instead, he had entered a strange state of enlightenment. Thus, he was relieved to protect Ling Xiao. Thunder Spirit King, are you talking about him? Ling Xiao smiled. The Thunder Spirit King's light flashed, and he instantly turned into an elder with white hair and beard. He appeared in front of Duga Qiubai. Greetings, young master. This old man greets you. The Thunder Spirit King bowed to Duga Qiubai. You have subdued the Thunder Spirit King. There was a tinge of disbelief in Duga Qiubai's eyes. He knew that Ling Xiao had many trump cards, so he should not be in any danger. However, he was still shocked that the Thunder Spirit King had been subdued by Ling Xiao. After all, the Thunder Spirit King was a powerful being at the pinnacle of the half-sage level. He was only half a step away from becoming a sage. That's right. Big Brother Dugu, this old man has obtained the Divine Firmament Saint's legacy. Now I will let him teach you the Heavenly Sword 9 styles. Ling Xiao said with a smile. Dugu Qiubai was a pure sword cultivator. He was not interested in the Divine Firmament's destructive lightning Dao. However, he was very interested in the Heavenly Sword 9 styles. After all, it was a sage's peerless sage technique. It would be very useful for him to perfect his own sword Dao. It is indeed a peerless sword technique. Dugu Qiubai could not help but exclaim after reading the Heavenly Sword 9 styles that the Thunder Spirit King had taught him. It's good that it's useful to you. Big Brother Dugu, let's go. Ling Xiao smiled. Now those thunder spirits outside the array were no longer a threat to Ling Xiao and Dugu Qiubai. After all, even the Thunder Spirit King had submitted to Ling Xiao. Roar! The purple lightning lion, who had been hiding at the side, showed a hint of vigilance when it saw the Thunder Spirit King. It roared loudly. However, the purple lightning lion looked furry now. It was only a few feet long and did not have any fierce aura. Instead, it looked very cute. Master, the purple lightning lion is a rare species. If its bloodline is fully awakened, it will be a 9-headed purple lightning lion. It can even control the power of the 9 elements, yin-yang, 5 elements and space-time. It is very powerful and worth nurturing. The Thunder Spirit King stared at the purple lightning lion and sighed. 9-headed purple lightning lion? This guy only has 1 head now. Is it because its bloodline is too weak? Ling Xiao asked curiously. He had only heard of some legends about the 9-headed purple lightning lion. He was not very clear about it. That is because the purple lightning lion is still in its infancy. In the future, as long as Master finds more treasures of the 9 elements for it and gradually awakens its 9 talents, a mature 9-headed purple lightning lion can even fight with the ancestral dragon and true phoenix. It is very powerful. The Thunder Spirit King said slowly. I did not expect you to have such a powerful background. Let's go. Ling Xiao stroked the purple lightning lion's furry head and exclaimed in surprise. The purple lightning lion's eyes showed a trace of pride. It held its head high and was very proud. Master, this Divine Firmament Palace is a perfect holy treasure. After I collect it, I will give it to Master. The Thunder Spirit King said with a smile. Keep it for yourself. With this Divine Firmament Palace, you should be able to recover your strength quickly. Ling Xiao shook his head. He did not care about a perfect holy treasure. This Divine Firmament Palace could gather the Thunder Principle origin energy. It was more useful for the Thunder Spirit King. Thank you, Master. Then I will not be polite. The Thunder Spirit King laughed excitedly. Just as he was about to collect the Divine Firmament Palace, his face suddenly changed, and a trace of anger appeared in his eyes. Damn it! How dare you kill my Thunder Spirit descendant? You must be tired of living. Chapter 1624. Rumble. Outside of the Divine Firmament Palace, rays of light were blazing and lightning was rising. The lightning spirits were emitting dazzling rays of light that contained the origin of lightning Dao. However, at this moment, there was a giant purple dragon that was rising in the void. It contained a boundless energy fluctuation and was devouring the lightning spirits outside of the broken array. The dragon's roar shook the heavens and earth. The giant purple dragon was terrifying as it emitted an ancient and mysterious energy fluctuation. The green lightning spirits did not even have the slightest resistance as they were devoured. Although the silver lightning spirits were struggling, they could not withstand the giant purple dragon's devouring. Only those golden lightning spirits were able to resist the devouring power of the violet dragon. But atop the violet dragon, there was an extraordinarily valiant young man. His entire body was covered with a towering violet chi. He held a thunder origin bead in his hand, and his aura was terrifying. The thunder origin bead was like a violet sun. It attracted a golden lightning spirit over, and then directly crushed it into dust. Behind the young man, there was a mysterious figure with a monstrous aura. He was like a peerless heavenly emperor that could push the sun, moon, and stars. His divine aura was unpredictable. As he continued to devour the lightning spirits, his figure became more and more solid. Huang Wuji. Ling Zhao's eyes flashed as he immediately recognized the young man. He was Huang Wuji. His subordinates were killing the lightning spirits wantonly with the help of the 9-layered Thunder King array. The lightning spirits had turned into the purest lightning energy, causing the aura of the disciples of the 9-layered imperial obelisk to skyrocket. Their cultivation had reached the pinnacle of the divine king realm, as if they could cross the nirvana tribulation and break through to the half-saint realm at any time. Those lightning spirits were the subordinates and descendants of the lightning spirit king. Now that they were being hunted by Huang Wuji, how could he not be furious? "Master, do you know him?" the lightning spirit king asked. "He's an enemy. However, this guy is not easy to deal with. He has a Saint Dao barrier on him. It's like a turtle shell that cannot be broken," Ling Xiao said with a wry smile. "Saint Dao barrier? If I was at my peak, even a Saint Dao barrier is nothing. However, I have no other choice now. Master, if you let me devour all of those lightning spirits, my cultivation will definitely be able to recover to its peak. Are we just going to watch that kid devour the lightning spirits?" Thunder Spirit King said with anger and helplessness. "He wants to devour all the lightning spirits? Isn't he afraid of breaking his teeth? Don't worry. Go ahead and take over the Divine Firmament Palace. Leave this guy to me. No matter how many thunder spirits he swallowed, he will spit them out for me," Ling Xiao sneered. "All right." Thunder Spirit King nodded. He immediately activated the power of the holy way around his body. He formed a seal with both of his hands. Suddenly, the godly cloud palace shone brightly. Rays of light filled the air. Suddenly, the entire godly cloud palace turned into a dazzling bead. It was like a blazing sun. It fell into Thunder Spirit King's hand. It's you guys?" After the Thunder Spirit King took the divine cloud palace, Ling Xiao and the others were exposed in front of Huang Wuji. After Huang Wuji saw Ling Xiao, his eyes turned cold, revealing a trace of cold killing intent. "Huang Wuji, we meet again." Ling Xiao smiled faintly. His eyes shone brightly as if there were lightning flashing in them. "You stole my treasure and stole my mount. Kid, you deserve to die." Huang Wuji also saw the purple lightning lion following beside Ling Xiao. He was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. He tried so hard to get the mount, but it was stolen by Ling Xiao. "Huang Wuji, who gave you the confidence to talk to me like that? If it wasn't for the Holy Way barrier, I would kill you like a dog," Ling Xiao sneered. Huang Wuji's eyes turned cold. He stared at Ling Xiao and said, "Kid, it's not too late to regret now. Hand over the purple lightning lion and all the treasures you have. Then kneel down and admit your mistake. I can spare your life. Otherwise, even the war god of the war god shrine can't save you." Huang Wuji's aura surged. It was terrifying. The 9-layered thunder dragon formation was completely activated by him. It exploded with a terrifying destructive force. The purple lightning dragon seemed to be able to annihilate everything. A pair of blood-red moon-like eyes stared at Ling Xiao. "Cut the crap. Huang Wuji, watch me break your tortoise shell." Ling Xiao's eyes were incomparably sharp. Purple divine light rose around his body. He had obtained a lot of opportunities and fortunes in the Divine Firmament Palace. Not only had his cultivation risen to the Divine King realm, but he had also obtained a lot of tribulation chi, which had tempered his limbs. Ling Xiao's arms could now shatter the sky, and his feet could shatter divine mountains. He really wanted to see how strong Huang Wuji's Holy Way barrier was. Boom! Ling Xiao directly threw a punch at Huang Wuji. The chaotic fist print was unparalleled, containing a kind of energy fluctuation that could destroy everything. You're courting death." Huang Wuji's expression changed slightly. He felt that Ling Xiao's strength had increased a lot. The power of this punch was terrifying. He immediately roared and controlled the 9-layered thunder dragon formation. The purple lightning dragon suddenly slapped at Ling Xiao. Kacha! The purple lightning dragon's power was unparalleled. It contained the power of heaven and earth. That slap was enough to kill an ordinary low-level half-saint. However, after colliding with Ling Zhao's punch, the light was dazzling. Ling Zhao's punch actually shattered the dragon claw of the purple lightning dragon, and then he attacked Huang Wuji. Buzz. In Huang Wuji's palm, the thunder origin bead flew towards Ling Xiao. It shot out a blazing lightning that seemed to be able to penetrate everything. At the same time, a purple crescent moon blade appeared in Huang Wuji's hand. It was like a crescent moon, and it slashed at Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao's expression didn't change. His fist mark was unparalleled, and it directly shattered the lightning. Then the space between his eyebrows shone brightly. 9 heavenly Tao primal chaos tablets appeared. At the same time, 9 chaotic divine lights intertwined and collided with the purple crescent moon blade. Rumble. Divine light spread out in all directions. The 9 heavenly Tao primal chaos tablets were unparalleled, exuding a heavy and ancient wave. They directly shattered the purple lightning dragon in the void, and then they fell towards Huang Wuji. This is the legendary heavenly Tao primal chaos tablet? Huang Wuji's expression changed, and his eyes revealed an incomparably greedy expression. The heavenly Tao primal chaos tablet was extremely famous in the divine world. It was even more famous than the Thunder Origin bead. It was said that if all 81 heavenly Tao primal chaos tablets were gathered, it was enough to open the myriad worlds. It was a set of top-notch sage treasures. Boom. The 9 heavenly Tao primal chaos tablets slammed on Huang Wuji's body. Boundless chaotic light gushed out, and it directly sent Huang Wuji flying. Chapter 16:25. Rumble. Heaven and earth trembled, and bright rays of light rose and intertwined in the void. Huang Wuji's Saint Tao boundary exuded eternal light, and his aura became incomparably mysterious. So what if it's the heavenly Tao chaotic tablet? You can't break my Saint Tao boundary, but you will die. You dare to go against me, Huang Wuji? Only death awaits you. Huang Wuji's eyes were cold, and cold light shot out as he stared at Ling Xiao. Boom. His aura began to soar in an instant, and his entire person became incomparably terrifying. An ancient and mysterious figure appeared behind him, surrounded by endless chaotic qi, as if it had walked out of endless time and space. Its expression was incomparably indifferent, and it had an invincible aura. Huang Wuji's cultivation was only at the first revolution half-saint realm, but because of this figure, his aura soared, and instantly reached the third revolution half-saint realm. Thunder Emperor's real body? Ling Zhao's eyes narrowed. After Huang Wuji devoured endless thunder spirits, his Thunder Emperor technique finally reached the great accomplishment realm, and condensed the Thunder Emperor's real body. His strength soared, and he could erupt with unparalleled terrifying combat strength. With the Saint Tao boundary protecting his body, coupled with the terror of the Thunder Emperor's real body, Huang Wuji was already in an invincible position, as if he could crush everything. Die! Huang Wuji roared, and a terrifying sound wave exploded in the void. He held the purple crescent blade in his hand, and the thunder source bead in the hands of the Thunder Emperor's real body shone brightly. At the same time, he charged towards Ling Xiao. Boom! 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 Terrifying lightning exploded, surrounded by a faint chaotic qi. The Thunder Tao origin power seemed to have derived spirituality, and turned into powerful creatures that charged towards Ling Xiao. The purple crescent blade in Huang Wuji's hand was vast. This flawless holy treasure was completely activated, and it slashed towards Ling Xiao, as if it could split heaven and earth. This was the power of a third revolution half-saint, and a flawless holy treasure. At this moment, even a fourth revolution or fifth revolution half-saint might be killed by Huang Wuji directly. Ling Xiao felt an intense sense of danger. Instantly, the divine light around him intensified as the 9 Heaven Tao primal chaos tablets revolved around each other. They actually fused into a single Heaven Tao primal chaos tablet, which soared through the skies and clashed against the purple crescent blade. In an instant, the skies trembled as boundless light flashed. The Heaven Tao primal chaos tablet flew back, and Ling Xiao grabbed it as though he was grabbing a brick, smashing it towards Lightning Emperor's face. Crack! Bolts of lightning exploded as the heavenly Tao primal chaos tablet's might was unparalleled. It pierced through the layers of lightning and smashed onto the Lightning Emperor's true body, causing the Thunder Pearl to tremble violently. The Lightning Emperor's true body staggered and was almost smashed onto the ground by the Heavenly Tao Primal Chaos Tablet. Huang Wuji, so what if you have condensed the Thunder Emperor's true body? You still have to die. Ling Xiao sneered. Boom. Behind Ling Xiao, the figure of the Thunder Spirit King appeared, emitting a vast and ancient wave. Instantly, the surrounding Thunder Spirits began to tremble, emitting waves of excitement as they all flew towards the Thunder Spirit King. 100 rivers converge, a dragon returns to the sea. Everyone saw this mysterious scene. Thousands upon thousands of Thunder Spirits flew towards the Thunder Spirit King. They were all absorbed into the Thunder Spirit King's body, and the Thunder Spirit King's aura began to skyrocket. What? You are the legendary Thunder Spirit King? Huang Wuji's body trembled as his eyes revealed a trace of disbelief. He stared at the Thunder Spirit King and said, according to the legends, the Thunder Spirit King possessed the peak battle strength of a 9th Revolution half-saint. His strength was extremely terrifying. He could sweep away everything. Although Huang Wuji had never seen the Thunder Spirit King, he could feel the Thunder Spirit King's aura. He immediately understood the Thunder Spirit King's identity. However, the Thunder Spirit King in front of him looked a little weak, and didn't seem to be as strong as the legends said. However, as countless Thunder Spirits were absorbed by the Thunder Spirit King, his aura also surged. What made Huang Wuji even more surprised was why the Thunder Spirit King was with Ling Xiao. Huang Wuji, you refine the Thunder Spirit King. This Thunder Spirit King won't let you go. Ling Xiao smiled faintly as his eyes were extremely sharp. Kid, you dare to collude with the Thunder Spirit King? So what if you are the Thunder Spirit King? If you can't break my Saint Dao barrier, you will still die. Huang Wuji stared at Ling Xiao with a gloomy look. Huang Wuji, kid, you dare to be my master's enemy? You are really reckless. Watch how I kill you. The Thunder Spirit King sneered and said. The qi around his body was extremely violent. Streaks of purple lightning fell from the sky like a mountain towards Huang Wuji. Master? You are the Thunder Spirit King, but you recognize a Divine King kid as your master? Huang Wuji's body trembled as his face became extremely ugly. His eyes were filled with unconcealable jealousy. This was the Thunder Spirit King, the Thunder Spirit King, the Thunder Spirit King who had reached the peak of his cultivation and nurtured the Thunder Spirit King. Unexpectedly, he recognized Ling Xiao as his master. Whoosh! The Thunder Pearl shone brightly as it flew towards the Thunder Spirit King to suppress him. Open! The Thunder Spirit King's eyes were extremely sharp as he threw out a punch. In an instant, the divine light on his fist exploded. A purple qilin flew out from it and roared in the sky as it collided with the Thunder Pearl. The Thunder Pearl was blown away. The Thunder Spirit King stepped on the sky as his aura became extremely terrifying. He was like a supreme saint who could control thunder. His fist covered Huang Wuji. Boom! The Thunder Spirit King's strength was getting more and more terrifying. As he devoured the Thunder Spirit King, his strength of the peak of the half-saint realm gradually exploded. Although Huang Wuji was strong, he had no power to resist the Thunder Spirit King. However, the Saint Dao barrier on Huang Wuji's body was too strong. Although the Thunder Spirit King's attack was extremely terrifying, it only blew Huang Wuji away. It did not hurt Huang Wuji at all. Haha. So what if you are the Thunder Spirit King? You can't break my defense at all. Thunder Spirit King, what is so good about this kid? As long as you are willing to recognize me as your master, I can give you anything you want. Huang Wuji laughed arrogantly as his eyes were filled with coldness. Recognize you as my master? Bah. Trash like you. How can you be my master? Why don't you take a piss and look at yourself in the mirror? I will break your turtle shell today. Boom. 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 Each of the Thunder Spirit King's punches was extremely terrifying. His fist covered the sky as it landed on Huang Wuji's body. Rays of destructive divine light burst out, making the void around him tremble violently. It even tore the void apart. Chapter 1626. Rumble. The purple lightning lion was extremely ferocious. His purple hair danced in the wind. His eyes were bloodshot and filled with bone-deep hatred. He emitted a vast aura. Previously, he was trapped by the ninefold lightning dragon formation and suffered a great loss. Now that he saw the disciples of the ninefold imperial obelisk again, his eyes blazed with hatred. He immediately transformed into his true form and attacked the disciples of ninefold imperial obelisk. Swoosh! At the same time, Duguqiubai's sword light was blazing. It contained the fluctuation of destruction and life. Each strike was sharper than the last. The nine-layered thunder dragon formation was extremely terrifying. However, under the joint attack of Duguqiubai and the purple lightning lion, the disciples of the nine imperial obelisk could not help but complain. The nine-layered thunder dragon formation was indeed very powerful. However, the most important factor was that Huang Wuji had the thunder source bead. With the thunder source bead as the formation core, the nine-layered thunder dragon formation could even fight against a fourth or fifth revolution half-saint. Therefore, it was not difficult for them to suppress the purple lightning lion earlier. However, Huang Wuji was now entangled with the Thunder Spirit King. He could not even take care of himself. They immediately found it difficult to resist and fell into a disadvantageous position. Roar. The purple lightning dragon's aura was extremely terrifying. Bolts of lightning streaked across the void and charged towards the purple lightning lion. Kacha. However, a blazing sword light flashed across the void. Duguqiubai's destruction sword Dao and life sword Dao burst out. Black and white divine light converged as if yin and yang were intertwined. It directly split the purple lightning dragon into two. Then, the purple lightning lion pounced forward and swallowed the purple lightning dragon into its stomach with its mouth wide open. Bang. The huge claw slammed down with a blazing cold light. The nine-layer lightning dragon array trembled violently, and runes exploded one after another as if it had reached its limit. The disciples of the nine-layer imperial obelisk suddenly spat out a mouthful of blood, and their eyes were filled with incomparable terror. Senior brother Huang, save us! Finally, a disciple of the nine imperial obelisk could not help but cry for help. His eyes were filled with fear. They could already sense that if this continued, the nine-layered lightning dragon formation would probably collapse completely. At that time, without the power of the formation, they would not be the violet lightning lion's opponent with just their cultivation as god kings. You're courting death. Huang Wuji saw the scene in the distance and suddenly became furious. Terrifying lightning rose around his body. His eyes were filled with cold killing intent. Cut the crap. Be obedient, and let me give you another 100 punches. Thunder Spirit King sneered and sent Huang Wuji flying with a slap. Endless lightning gathered in the surroundings. The lightning power that God Cloud Valley had accumulated for hundreds of millions of years was swallowed by the Thunder Spirit King like a whale swallowing the ocean. It made the Thunder Spirit King's presence more and more terrifying. Originally, the Thunder Spirit King had been seriously injured by Zhan Tianqing's Talisman of the Great Way, and then by Ling Xiao. He had almost fallen from the half-saint realm. However, as he continued to devour the Thunder Spirit and the power of Thunder Origin, his aura became more and more terrifying. Huang Wuji roared. He was so depressed that he was about to vomit blood. In the hands of the Thunder Spirit King, he did not even have the slightest strength to resist. Roar. The purple lightning lion's eyes were filled with hatred. He roared and rushed into the thunderbolts. He opened his mouth and bit a nine imperial obelisk disciple into two and swallowed him. No. Bastard, how dare you eat senior brother Lu? Senior brother Huang, save me. I don't want to die. Run. The nine imperial obelisk formation is broken. We're no match for them. Many of the nine imperial obelisk's disciples were horrified. They cried for their mothers and fathers as they fled into the distance. Their cries were incomparably miserable. However, they were only god kings. Without the protection of the ninefold Thunder King formation, how were they supposed to avoid the pursuit of the violet lightning lion? Puff. One of the nine imperial obelisk's disciples was smashed into a bloody mist by the purple lightning lion. The other disciples wanted to run away, but the purple lightning lion spat out a few thunderbolt chains from his mouth and tied them up. He then swallowed them into his stomach. The purple lightning lion was a third revolution half-saint. How could these 9 imperial obelisk disciples be a match for him? In the blink of an eye, more than a dozen 9 imperial obelisk disciples were killed by the purple lightning lion. They all became food for the purple lightning lion. Huang Wuji's eyes turned red when he saw this. All of you deserve to die. I won't let any of you off. One day, I'll kill all of you, not leaving a single one alive. Huang Wuji roared. His voice was filled with bone-deep hatred that shook the sky. *** rumble. The light around him was dazzling. In an instant, the void trembled. He turned into a ray of light and fled into the distance. Where do you think you're going? An indifferent voice rang out. In an instant, the heavenly Tao Chaos Tablet was surrounded by chaotic mist. It was like a huge wall that blocked Huang Wuji's path. Ling Zhao's eyes were extremely sharp. His blood qi surged to the sky. He pushed the sun, moon, and stars as he moved. A terrifying chaotic fist blasted towards Huang Wuji. You're courting death. Huang Wuji hated Ling Xiao to the extreme. His eyes were bloodshot. He couldn't wait to tear Ling Xiao apart. The Saint Tao boundary around him shone brightly. He suddenly knocked away the heavenly Tao Chaos Tablet. He didn't care about the punch behind Ling Xiao, and continued to flee. In any case, he believed that Ling Zhao's punch couldn't break his Saint Tao boundary. Gotcha! Ling Zhao's punch landed on Huang Wuji's body. In an instant, mysterious runes rose like a terrifying vortex, and began to extract the Saint Tao boundary's power. The heaven-devouring secret technique had exploded. The Saint Tao boundary on Huang Wuji's body began to weaken at a speed visible to the naked eye. The Saint Tao aura within it followed Ling Zhao's arm, and merged into Ling Zhao's body. The Saint Tao boundary also began to dim. Seeing this scene, Huang Wuji's soul almost flew out of his body. The reason why he dared to be so arrogant was because of the Saint Tao boundary on his body. As long as a true saint didn't appear, no one could break his Saint Tao boundary. But he didn't expect Ling Xiao to use a very strange method to devour the Saint Tao boundary's power. Chapter 1627. Get out of my way. Huang Wuji roared. Terrifying saint aura exploded from his body and poured into the purple crescent moon blade. Then it slashed down towards Ling Xiao. Rumble. The blazing blade light was incomparably dazzling. This was the power of a flawless saint treasure. Under Huang Wuji's control, it was incomparably terrifying. Even the void was cut open. Clang. The heavenly Tao primal chaos tablet shone brightly, and instantly blocked the purple crescent moon blade. The blazing Tao light exploded. The heavenly Tao primal chaos tablet released streaks of chaotic light. Not even a white mark was left behind. Gotcha! At this moment, a crisp sound could be heard. The Saint Tao barrier on Huang Wuji's body instantly shattered. Huang Wuji's expression changed instantly. Hehe. Huang Wuji, your tortoise shell has already been broken by my master. Let's see if you're still alive. Lightning Spirit King sneered. The lightning around his body was blazing. His aura was terrifying to the extreme. The surrounding lightning spirits had already been devoured by him. His cultivation had also recovered to its peak. The peak strength of a 9th revolution half-saint was only a step away from a true saint. That terrifying aura instantly made Huang Wuji's expression extremely ugly. Rumble. Huang Wuji pointed his finger out. His fingertip shone brightly. The chaotic lightning instantly exploded on Huang Wuji's body. It directly blasted half of Huang Wuji's body. Blood spurted out from his mouth as his body was sent flying. Damn it! My grandfather is the supreme elder of the 9 imperial gates. He's a saint with monstrous strength. If you dare to kill me, my grandfather will definitely not let you off. Huang Wuji roared. His eyes involuntarily revealed a trace of fear. Without the saint path boundary, Huang Wuji felt a sense of helplessness when facing the terrifying Thunder Spirit King. He couldn't help but feel afraid. So what if you're a saint? When you wanted to snatch my treasure and make me kneel down to apologize, why didn't you think of this outcome? Ling Zhao's gaze was ice cold. Holding the Heaven Tao Primal Chaos Tablet in his hand, it was as though he was holding a brick. He directly smashed the brick onto Huang Wuji's face, causing his handsome face to turn into a bloody mess. His teeth were all shattered. Huang Wuji let out another blood-curdling scream as his entire body flew out. Master, this brat deserves to die. However, I'm afraid that there's a mark left behind by a sage on his body. Leave it to me. I guarantee that I'll get rid of him without leaving any traces behind. Thunder Spirit King said to show his loyalty. Huang Wuji's entire body trembled. His eyes were filled with incomparable fear. These two fellows actually wanted to kill him? His grandfather was a saint of the 9 imperial gates. How could they dare to make a move? Very good. But letting him die like this is letting him off too easily. Ling Xiao smiled faintly. A sharp light flashed in his eyes, and he instantly leaped forward. He turned into a ray of light and appeared behind Huang Wuji. Then he struck out with his palm. Rumble. Ling Xiao's palm was filled with a primordial mist, and the radiance was incomparably dazzling. The heaven-devouring secret technique had completely erupted. The Thunder Emperor's real body that was originally condensed by Huang Wuji appeared, and then began to be slowly devoured by Ling Xiao. Behind Ling Xiao, the lightning glow was incomparably intense. A mysterious figure gradually solidified and slowly appeared, emitting a monstrous aura. You've actually cultivated my 9 Imperial Gates Thunder Emperor skill. Damn it, you're dead. No one can save you. Huang Wuji roared wildly, his eyes filled with disbelief. He had never thought that Ling Xiao would actually cultivate the Thunder Emperor skill, and even obtain the true meaning of the Thunder Emperor skill. At this moment, he actually wanted to devour the Thunder Emperor's real body in his body. Is that so? Ling Xiao sneered, his eyes indifferent. Ever since he exposed the heaven-devouring secret technique, Ling Xiao had decided that he would never let Huang Wuji go. Therefore, no matter what Huang Wuji said, whether it was threats or begging for mercy, it would not shake his heart. Rumble. Behind Ling Xiao, the terrifying lightning glow was incomparably intense. The mysterious Thunder Emperor's real body slowly condensed. Huang Wuji's many years of cultivation had now been completely devoured by Ling Xiao. Especially the Thunder Principle origin energy. It had all turned into nourishment for the Thunder Emperor's real body. Boom. After the Thunder Emperor's real body was devoured, Ling Xiao threw out a punch and directly sent Huang Wuji flying. Kid, your life is mine. The Thunder Spirit King sneered and instantly picked up Huang Wuji, as if he was picking up a little chick. The aura around his body was incomparably terrifying, and a murderous aura spread out. Huang Wuji's body suddenly trembled, and his eyes were filled with fear. Grandpa, save me. Huang Wuji roared wildly, his voice was filled with incomparable anxiety and fear. Rumble. Huang Wuji's glabella shone brightly. It was as if some kind of sage energy had awakened in his body. In an instant, the wind and clouds surged and the sky changed color. It was as if some kind of terrifying energy was about to descend. A sage's clone? If you want to descend, you have to ask for my permission. The Thunder Spirit King sneered. It was as if he had already expected this. His expression was very calm, and there was no trace of panic. Swoosh! A dazzling bead flew out from his hand, and in an instant, terrifying lightning burst out. The vast power of the Matrix shrouded the entire area, and at the same time, it also isolated the power of the Divine Path aura. Divine Firmament Armageddon Array? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. It turned out that the Thunder Spirit King had used the Divine Firmament Armageddon Array to cover up everything. It also destroyed the imprint and means left by the sage on Huang Wuji's body. It even repelled the sage's clone that was about to descend. Ling Xiao's heart also had a trace of vigilance. In the future, if he met such a genius with a sage behind him, he was afraid that he would have to be careful. Otherwise, if the sage's clone descended, then it would be a big joke. I will remember you. A cold and vast wave spread out, causing the surrounding void to tremble. The vast saintly path aura exuded a strange wave, but in the end, it retreated reluctantly. Remember me? There are many people who remember me. Who do you think you are? The Thunder Spirit King sneered, and his eyes were filled with disdain. Huang Wuji's body trembled, and there was a trace of despair in his eyes. Even the sage's clone was blocked by the Thunder Spirit King. Was he really going to die here today? Spare me. I was wrong. I shouldn't have become your enemy. I overestimated myself. I am a piece of trash. As long as you are willing to let me go, I am willing to do anything for you. I only beg you to spare my life. Huang Wuji suddenly knelt down in front of Ling Xiao and the Thunder Spirit King, and used both of his hands to slap himself, and loudly begged for mercy. Only now you want to beg for mercy? Too bad it's too late. Thunder Spirit King said indifferently. A blazing lightning fell from the sky. Chaotic fog lingered around the lightning, and a terrifying destructive power surrounded Huang Wuji. In a flash, Huang Wuji was shrouded by the lightning and turned into ashes. Chapter 1628. The 9 imperial palaces floated above the 9 heavens in the 9 imperial palaces. They emitted a mysterious and ancient aura, just like the ancient heavenly palace, magnificent and majestic. In a mountain surrounded by clouds, a middle-aged man in a purple robe sat cross-legged in front of a waterfall. He had a dignified face, and his body was surrounded by holy aura. He was absorbing the essence of heaven and earth, and his aura was terrifying. Whoosh! A mysterious light suddenly flew out of the waterfall, and turned into a purple jade talisman, emitting a strange fluctuation. The middle-aged man in purple robe opened his eyes, and his eyes were full of respect. He took the purple jade talisman with both hands and bowed. "Welcome, ancestor." Boom! Strange fluctuations were emitted from the purple jade talisman, and an old and cold voice resounded in the void. Huang Wuji was killed. This is the aura of the murderer. Take this jade talisman and go to the mythical space. No matter who killed Huang Wuji, he will pay with his blood. The middle-aged man in purple robe trembled, and his eyes were full of shock. He could hear the killing intent and anger in the voice. Something big had happened. Who was Huang Wuji? He was the grandson of the old ancestor. He had just broken through to the first revolution half-saint, and he had been bestowed with 2 flawless holy treasures. Moreover, he had also been bestowed with a holy way boundary. He was innately in an invincible position. The middle-aged man in purple robe was shocked, but he still said respectfully, "Don't worry, ancestor. No matter who killed Huang Wuji, he will die." After that, the middle-aged man in purple robe grabbed the purple jade talisman, and he turned into a bright light and flew away. In the Divine Cloud Valley, Huang Wuji was killed by the Thunder Spirit King. His soul was scattered, and there was no corpse left. Only the purple crescent blade and the thunder pearl were left. At this moment, these 2 perfect holy treasures had become ownerless. Whoosh! Ling Xiao directly stored these 2 holy treasures into the wordless heavenly book. Ling Xiao also obtained a thunder source bead. Together, they could be considered a powerful thunder holy treasure. However, these 2 thunder source beads were somewhat shameful. Ling Xiao now only used them as tools to absorb the thunder origin energy. He rarely used them. As for the purple crescent blade, Ling Xiao was prepared to use the wordless heavenly book to completely obliterate it, before letting the sky-devouring sword devour it. After devouring countless heavenly treasures, Ling Xiao's sky-devouring sword's power was unparalleled. It was not far from a flawless holy treasure. Ling Xiao was planning to find an opportunity to upgrade it to a true holy treasure. "Junior brother Long, it's time for me to leave. However, you must be careful in the future. After all, Huang Wuji has a saint standing behind him. If he finds out that you killed Huang Wuji, the War God Temple might not be willing to protect you. If you really can't stay in the War God's shrine, come to the Hero Alliance." Dugu Qiubai smiled at Ling Xiao. "Thank you, Brother Dugu. I will be careful. If there comes a day when I really can't stay in the War God Temple anymore, I will definitely look for you." Ling Xiao cupped his hands and smiled at Dugu Qiubai. This time, he had gained a lot in Divine Cloud Valley with Dugu Qiubai. He was sure that Dugu Qiubai would be preparing to undergo the Nirvana tribulation and break through to the half-saint realm after he left. "Alright. Goodbye." Dugu Qiubai smiled casually. Then he leaped into the sky and transformed into a dazzling sword aura, quickly disappearing before everyone's eyes. "Let's go to." Ling Xiao turned around and jumped onto the purple lightning lion's back. The Thunder Spirit King also entered Ling Xiao's body and left Divine Cloud Valley together. Master, don't worry. I have completely killed Huang Wuji. Also, I used the Divine Cloud Lightning Array to isolate that saint's aura and left Zhan Tianqing's aura behind. Hehe, even if that saint senses it, he will probably think that Zhan Tianqing killed Huang Wuji. He will definitely not suspect us. The Thunder Spirit King smiled slyly. Zhan Tianqing's aura? The corners of Ling Xiao's mouth twitched. He started to mourn for Zhan Tianqing in his heart. The Thunder Spirit King was indeed cunning. However, he did things flawlessly. Now that Huang Wuji had been killed, they would probably not be able to find out that Ling Xiao was the culprit. Thunder Spirit King, do you know where else in the mythical space contains a large amount of tribulation aura? Ling Xiao asked. There was still half a year before the flipping sky seal would open again. Ling Xiao did not intend to return to the sects so soon. There were many ancient relics in the celestial devil space. If he could find an ominous calamity land and absorb the endless calamity chi, he would be able to condense the calamity seed as soon as possible. After experiencing the benefits of the tribulation aura, Ling Xiao did not intend to condense a tribulation seed just like that. He had to find a large amount of tribulation aura to refine his entire body. A large amount of tribulation aura? The calamity land in the mythical space is very dangerous. After so many years, I don't know if those calamity lands are still there. However, if Master wants to obtain a large amount of tribulation aura, you can try going to the Red Lotus Valley. The Thunder Spirit King thought for a while and said slowly. Red Lotus Valley? What is that place? Where is it? Ling Xiao asked curiously. He knew some secret places around Shangqing Ancient City, but he had never heard of the Red Lotus Valley. The Red Lotus Valley contains an endless amount of Red Lotus Hellfire. It is very terrifying. Even a sage would not dare to touch the Red Lotus Hellfire. However, the Red Lotus Hellfire is closely related to the Tribulation Aura. There is also a lot of Tribulation Aura in the Red Lotus Valley. If Master wants to obtain Tribulation Aura, it should be the most suitable place to go. The Thunder Spirit King said slowly, and explained the situation in the Red Lotus Valley. Is it more than 3 million miles away from here? It is a little far. Moreover, there are many experts of the Demon Clan in the location you mentioned. The Red Lotus Valley is probably a name from the ancient times. Alright, let's go to the Red Lotus Valley to have a look. Ling Xiao thought for a while and nodded in agreement. Whoosh. Following Ling Xiao's thought, the purple lightning lion excitedly swung its limbs and rushed into the sky in an instant. It turned into a purple light and flew in the direction of the Red Lotus Valley. The purple lightning lion had also been trapped in Divine Cloud Valley for a long time. Like a curious baby, it was curious about everything. If Ling Xiao had not urged it to hurry, it would have gone down to have a good time. Chapter 1629. Puff. The sky-devouring sword shone brightly and cut a Demon Clan expert in a black robe in half. It then flew back to Ling Xiao's hand with a flash of sword light. This is the third wave of the Demon Clan. The Red Lotus Valley is just ahead and there are so many Demon Clan experts. It seems that the Red Lotus Valley is not simple. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he thought to himself. Ever since he entered the range of the Red Lotus Valley, he had come across 3 waves of demon experts. As soon as they saw him, they directly charged at him without any warning. However, the strongest demon king was only a god king, so Ling Xiao killed them all very quickly. Ling Xiao instinctively felt that the Red Lotus Valley was not simple as there were so many Demon Clan experts. There are experts from the Ghost Demon Clan, collecting the Red Lotus Fire and Calamity Chi in the Red Lotus Valley? Ling Xiao's gaze trembled, revealing a trace of sharpness. After he killed the Demon Clan experts, although most of the Demon Clan experts did not know about the Demon Clan's actions due to their low status, Ling Xiao still found out about the situation in the Red Lotus Valley from the memories of a demon god king. It turned out that the experts from the Ghost Demon Clan were collecting the Red Lotus Fire and Calamity Chi in the Red Lotus Valley. They even captured many experts from the Human Clan and forced them to work for the Ghost Demon Clan. Why are the Ghost Demon Clan collecting the Red Lotus Fire and Calamity Chi? The Red Lotus fire should be the natural enemy and nemesis of the Ghost Demon clan. The Thunder Spirit King was also confused. The karmic fire of the Red Lotus was extremely terrifying. It was related to the legendary power of karma. Once touched by the karmic fire of the Red Lotus, even the Buddhists who claimed to be perfect as one would be burned to ashes, let alone the demons. It could be said that there were no demons who were not afraid of the karmic fire of the Red Lotus. This was especially true for the ghost demons, who were tainted with countless evil creatures and karma. As long as they came into contact with the karmic fire of the Red Lotus, even a true ghost saint would not be able to withstand it. I don't know. I'm afraid the Ghost Demon clan is plotting something. I'll go into the Red Lotus Valley to investigate. Ling Zhao's eyes flashed as he said slowly. The Thunder Spirit King was hiding in Ling Zhao's body, and the purple lightning lion was too big of a target, and would be easily exposed. Therefore, Ling Zhao also kept the purple lightning lion in the wordless heavenly book. He used the heaven-shrouding secret technique alone to conceal his aura, and sneaked into the Red Lotus Valley. The Red Lotus Valley was a huge valley formed by undulating hills. It spanned hundreds of thousands of kilometers and was extremely vast. However, when Ling Zhao approached the Red Lotus Valley, he felt a scorching aura. It was a fluctuation that made his soul feel extremely hot. Red Lotus Hellfire. The Red Lotus Valley indeed contained the power of the Red Lotus Hellfire. Hurry up and get to work. If you dare to slack off again, you will end up like him. A cold reprimand rang in Ling Zhao's ears. Ling Zhao's heart skipped a beat, and he quietly moved in that direction. In front of a hill, a group of Ghost Demon clan experts in black robes were in front of it. Ghost chi surged from their bodies, and their eyes were cruel and bloodthirsty. Each of them held a black whip in their hands, and they kept whipping at a group of humans who were shackled. Those humans were badly mutilated, and they were covered in wounds. Their eyes were filled with anger, but they did not dare to speak. They could only grit their teeth and chisel at the hill in front of them, and take out pieces of red stones. Then, they activated the divine power in their bodies and stretched out their palms to draw out a wisp of red illusory flame from the stones. They burned their hands until their flesh was torn open, and then they hurriedly put it into a jade bottle that they carried with them. In the distance, there was a huge flagpole that was over 100 feet tall. A black skull flag fluttered in the wind, appearing incomparably ferocious and terrifying. Hanging on the flagpole were over 1,000 heads. Every single one of them had an expression of pain, anger, and unwillingness to die in peace. Their eyes were wide open in anger. Ling Zhao's eyes instantly became extremely cold. Ghost Demon clan, damn you. A monstrous killing intent surged in Ling Zhao's heart. The Ghost Demon clan had actually captured so many human experts, sealed their cultivation, and shackled their hands and feet. They were forced to consume their life force to draw out the Red Lotus Hellfire from the ores. Ling Zhao could feel that the Red Lotus Hellfire was also intertwined with strands of tribulation chi. The process of drawing out the Red Lotus Hellfire was extremely painful. Not only did it consume one's life force, but it would also burn one's primordial spirit. It was not as simple as the flesh being torn open, but also the primordial spirit. It was excruciating. However, in order to survive, those humans could only endure in silence. Ling Zhao could feel that most of the humans were in the true immortal realm and the divine king realm. There were only 2 or 3 half-saint experts. Obviously, it was difficult for the Ghost Demon clan to capture half-saint experts. However, Ling Zhao could feel that there were many minds like this in the Red Lotus Valley. Many Ghost Demon experts acted as overseers, supervising the humans as they drew out the Red Lotus Hellfire and Tribulation Chi. If anything went wrong, they would be whipped and kicked. Ling Zhao resisted the urge to charge forward and kill all the Ghost Devil experts. Instead, he carefully observed the situation. The Ghost Demon overseers were only in the Demon God King realm. There were other commanders behind them. Ling Zhao wanted to know what the Ghost Demon clan was planning. Soon Ling Zhao saw one of the Ghost Demon overseers collecting all the Red Lotus Hellfire collected by the humans into a black gourd. He then took the gourd and walked into the depths of the Red Lotus Valley. Ling Zhao's eyes flashed as he quietly followed. The deeper he went, the more ghost demon experts Ling Xiao found. There were even half-saint experts leading teams to patrol. This place was heavily guarded. No one could break in. However, the more heavily guarded it was, the more it meant that the ghost demon clan had some unspeakable secret. The ghost demon overseer walked all the way to the depths of the Red Lotus Valley and stopped in front of an ancient stone pagoda. The stone pagoda had 9 floors and was hundreds of feet tall. It exuded an eerie ghost chi. It was very terrifying. Ling Xiao also felt a trace of mysterious and cold Saint Dao chi from it. This stone pagoda was also a treasure. There were dozens of ghost demon overseers lined up in front of the stone pagoda. Each of them was holding a black gourd. Gui-san, today you have collected 300 Red Lotus Hellfire and 30 Tribulation Chi. You are rewarded with 3 Ghost Spirit Pills. Gui-16, today you have collected 1700 Red Lotus Hellfire and 170 Tribulation Chi. You are rewarded with 17 Ghost Spirit Pills. A cold voice sounded from the stone pagoda. Ling Xiao could vaguely see a tall figure in a black robe. His aura was very strong. He had reached the 3rd Revolution half-saint realm. Chapter 1630. Is this stone tower where the Red Lotus karmic fire and tribulation chi are stored? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he thought to himself. Ling Xiao still did not know why the Ghost Devil clan was collecting the Red Lotus karmic fire and tribulation chi. However, the Ghost Devil clan's overseers might not know either. However, Ling Xiao did not dare to act rashly. He did not know how many Ghost Devil clan's overseers were in the Red Lotus Valley. Although it was unlikely for a saint to enter the mythical space, the Ghost Devil clan valued the Red Lotus Valley very much. Soon, the Ghost Devil clan's overseers handed over all the Red Lotus karmic fire and tribulation chi. After receiving their rewards, they left happily. Before the stone tower's door closed, Ling Xiao quietly sneaked in. In addition to the 3 Revolution half-saint expert from the Ghost Devil clan, there was also an old man in a black robe. His eyes were cold and his aura was powerful. His cultivation had reached the 6th Revolution half-saint realm. Lord Ghost Shadow, we have collected a total of 36,500 Red Lotus karmic fire and 3,200 tribulation chi today. They are all here. Please take a look. The 3 Revolution half-saint expert from the Ghost Devil clan respectfully handed over a black gourd. Ghost Shadow reached out and took it. He looked at it and nodded with satisfaction. Not bad. Guiku, you have done well. In these few months, we have collected a large amount of Red Lotus karmic fire and tribulation chi. When young master comes, not only will you and I be rewarded, but we will also be able to return to the devil world and leave this damned place. Guiku smiled flatteringly. Lord Ghost Shadow, thank you for capturing so many humans. Otherwise, it would be impossible to collect so much Red Lotus karmic fire and tribulation chi in such a short time. Those lowly humans are lucky to be able to work for us. However, we do not have enough manpower now. We need to continue capturing humans. Guiku, you will personally lead a team and capture 1,000 humans this time. Ghost Shadow said faintly. Yes, Lord Ghost Shadow, I promise to complete the task. Guiku hurriedly promised. Good. You can leave first. Ghost Shadow waved his hand. Guiku bowed respectfully and turned to leave the stone tower. Boom. Gui Ying's body emitted a vast and mysterious aura fluctuation. He spat out obscure syllables and formed a seal with his hands. Immediately, the stone tower trembled slightly, and a black door appeared in front of Gui Ying. Just as Gui Ying stepped into the black door, Ling Xiao also turned into a ray of divine light, and instantly followed Gui Ying into the black door. Who is it? Gui Ying's entire body shook. Suddenly, a trace of light burst out from his eyes as he shouted loudly. The black door was also the entrance to a powerful array formation. Although Ling Xiao had concealed his aura with the heaven-shrouding mystic technique, the black door still sensed that someone had followed the Ghost Shadow in, and immediately sounded the alarm. Gui Ying exuded an incomparably terrifying aura as mysterious sound waves whizzed out, causing the surrounding space to tremble violently. Of course it's the person who killed you. Demon brat, you're quite vigilant. With a flash of light, the Thunder Spirit King appeared from Ling Xiao's body and sneered. Rumble! The lightning around the Thunder Spirit King's body was blazing. His terrifying aura was monstrous. The cultivation of a ninth revolution half-saint was completely unleashed. Instantly, Gui Ying's expression changed greatly. His face became extremely ugly. The Thunder Spirit King did not give him a chance to react. His palm landed on Gui Ying's body. Immediately, a bright lightning bloomed. The power of lightning swept towards Gui Ying. The ghost demon race was a race that lived in the darkness of the underworld, so they were most afraid of this kind of power. When the Thunder Spirit King made his move, more than half of Ghost Shadow's power was suppressed. Ghost Shadow didn't have any power to resist at all. He was directly hit on the chest by the Thunder Spirit King, and his body suddenly exploded. Whoosh! Purple runes rose up from the Thunder Spirit King's palm. Suddenly, they formed a purple lightning and covered the black light that was blown up by the Ghost Shadow. A sixth revolution half-saint would not die so easily. Sure enough, the black light surged and instantly turned into Ghost Shadow's appearance. However, he didn't dare to move at all. The destructive lightning around him was hidden. As if he dared to make the slightest movement, he would be destroyed in the next moment. Who the hell are you? Gui Ying's face was extremely ugly. He stared at Ling Xiao and the Thunder Spirit King who appeared in front of him. In Gui Ying's eyes, this pair was a little strange. Ling Xiao was only a Great Circle Divine King, but Thunder Spirit King was a ninth revolution half-saint. Ling Xiao did not pay attention to Gui Ying. Instead, he was observing the surroundings. In front of Ling Xiao, there was a vast ocean with a mountain floating on it. Rumble! The light in the ocean was dazzling. The lightning was blazing. It was unexpectedly formed by the Calamity Chi. No one knew how many thousands of Calamity Chi had gathered to form a vast ocean of Calamity Chi. The mountain was crimson red. It was formed by the accumulation of Red Lotus Hellfire. It was exuding an extremely hot aura that could burn one's primordial spirit. The Red Lotus was like a mountain, and the Calamity Chi was like a sea. This was indeed the place where the Red Lotus Hellfire and Calamity Chi were stored. The Ghost Demon Clan is actually mining the Red Lotus Hellfire and Calamity Chi in the Red Lotus Valley. What is their plan? If you tell me honestly, perhaps I can give you a quick death. Ling Xiao looked at Gui Ying and asked indifferently. If you promise to let me live, I will tell you. Gui Ying gritted his teeth and said. The aura of the Thunder Spirit King was too terrifying. It was so terrifying that he could not even think of resisting. Hence, he only wanted to live. Let you live? Sure. Tell me. Ling Xiao said indifferently. You must swear the Great Heart Demon Oath. Otherwise, I will not say anything. Gui Ying said with an ugly expression. You dare to talk about conditions when you are about to die? You really don't know what death is. Thunder Spirit King, kill him. Ling Xiao said indifferently. Yes, master. The Thunder Spirit King grinned. Then the lightning around his body was blazing. In the next moment, the lightning that filled the sky was about to strike Gui Ying. Gui Ying was scared out of his wits. He quickly said, I will tell you everything. He was completely terrified. If he were to be killed like this, he would be extremely unwilling. Therefore, he chose to confess everything. Following Gui Ying's narration, Ling Xiao gradually understood why the Ghost Demon Clan built the Red Lotus Valley. Chapter 1631. As if he was afraid that Ling Xiao would go back on his words, Gui Ying quickly said, My lords, our young master is a peerless genius, and he's famous in the devil world. The most important thing is that his two guards are ninth revolution half-saint. If you kill me, he'll know immediately. As long as you let me live, I'm willing to help you pretend to be polite with him. Otherwise, once the young master of the Ghost Devil Clan arrives, you'll be no match for him. Young master of the Ghost Devil Clan? What kind of cultivation technique is he cultivating? How dare he use the Red Lotus Hellfire and Tribulation Chi to refine his body? Isn't he afraid of being burned to death by the hellfire? Ling Xiao asked with slight surprise. My lord, I don't know either. I only know that the young master cultivates a peerless ancient heavenly cultivation technique, And it's the top secret of the Ghost Devil clan. Very few people know about it. Guiying said honestly. Very good. You're right, then you can go die. Ling Xiao said indifferently. Thunder Spirit King sneered. His body was filled with killing intent, and he instantly rushed towards Guiying. Bastard. You don't keep your words, the young master won't let you go. You'll die without a burial place, I'll wait for you. Guiying's eyes revealed an incomparably furious expression as he roared. He didn't expect that Ling Xiao would still kill him without any hesitation after he told him everything. It seemed that Ling Xiao didn't plan to let him go from the beginning. Boom. Guiying's cursing stopped abruptly. He was directly killed by Thunder Spirit King, and his primordial spirit was swallowed by Ling Xiao with the wordless heavenly book, stripping his memory to confirm what he just said. This guy didn't lie. But he still deserves to die. Ling Xiao said indifferently. Guiying didn't hide anything, but when he thought of the human heads on the flagpole in the Red Lotus Valley, his heart was filled with killing intent. Master, I'll protect you, with so much tribulation chi. It should be enough for you to refine your body. Thunder Spirit King said slowly. Good. But according to Guiying, the young master of the Ghost Devil clan may come at any time. After you go out, kill all the Ghost Devil clan, and release the humans. Once the young master of the Ghost Devil clan arrives, send me a message. Ling Xiao's eyes revealed a trace of burning killing intent. Master, don't worry, none of those demon bastards. Thunder Spirit King sneered and said. Whoosh. He instantly turned into a beam of light and left the space of the stone tower. Following Ling Xiao's orders, he went to hunt the experts of the Ghost Devil clan. Ling Xiao's gaze fell on the sea of tribulation aura before him. There are at least a few 100,000 strands of tribulation chi here. It's enough for me to refine my entire body. Ling Xiao's eyes flickered with divine light as he took a deep breath. Boom. His body shone with dazzling light as he jumped into the sea of tribulation chi in an instant. He then activated the myriad tribulation's indestructible saint technique, and began to absorb the boundless tribulation chi around him. Ling Xiao's body was extremely strong, and his chi and blood were monstrous. However, after absorbing the tribulation chi was like the sharpest sword radiance, piercing through his body and leaving deep scars. If Ling Xiao's body was not strong enough, it would be no different from seeking death if an ordinary person dared to absorb the tribulation chi. The surrounding void trembled as the tribulation chi entered Ling Xiao's body and began to refine his body. This time, it was a comprehensive refinement, from his limbs to his torso, from his torso to his head. Ling Xiao's entire body was integrated into the sea of tribulation chi. Roar! There seemed to be an ancient dragon's roar coming from Ling Xiao's body. His divine dragon body had reached the complete realm, and the next step was the ancestral dragon body, which was the most mysterious part of the ancestral dragon's secret skill. However, Ling Xiao still had no clue how to break through the ancestral dragon body. Although his body seemed to have reached its limit, Ling Xiao felt that he was still far from the true ancestral dragon body. As the endless tribulation chi refined his body, Ling Xiao could feel that his body, which had already reached its limit, began to slowly strengthen again. The chi and blood around Ling Xiao rose, turning into golden divine dragons that coiled around his body. His aura became unstable, and his body glowed, releasing rays of divine light. With the refinement of the tribulation chi, his body became more and more terrifying, and his entire body was filled with an ancient and mysterious purple chi. Rumble. Ling Xiao seemed to have sunk into a state of cultivation, forgetting everything else. The vast sea of tribulation chi was completely devoured by him as the heaven-devouring secret skill erupted. His physical body underwent a metamorphosis from inside out as his entire being was tempered by the tribulation chi. This was especially true for the tempering of his head. Ling Xiao had used up hundreds of thousands of strands of tribulation chi to completely temper his head. The head was the most difficult part to refine. Not only did it involve the eyes, ears, nose, mouth, and tongue, but it also involved the soul and sea of consciousness. He needed to be careful with every refinement. It would be troublesome if the soul was heavily injured during the refinement of the tribulation chi. Ling Xiao didn't even know how long it took him to refine his entire body from head to toe. Ling Zhao's body seemed to have become several times stronger. It shone with a faint light of eternity, as if he had been reborn. His presence became even more terrifying. Endless tribulation qi gathered within Ling Zhao's body, forming a mysterious vortex. It shone with dazzling light, as if something was about to be born. Crack. It was as if the first bolt of lightning had exploded. The vortex opened up and endless chaotic mist filled the air. It was as if a mysterious small world had been formed. A mysterious purple seed emerged from it. It looked perfect and there were many mysterious patterns on it. The tribulation seed has finally been formed. Ling Zhao slowly opened his eyes. A sliver of joy appeared in his eyes as he murmured to himself. He shone with resplendent light. The purple tribulation seed directly fused with Ling Zhao's heart, causing it to beat violently. Vast strands of vital energy flowed through Ling Zhao's body, causing his body to become extremely tough. Ling Zhao could sense that his current body was basically like a powerful half-saint treasure. It was very difficult to break through. He had become one with Zhou Tian, like an indestructible piece of metal. I'm afraid my physical body has already reached the limit of the Divine King realm. It'll probably be 10 or 100 times more difficult for me to break through to half-saint compared to others. Ling Zhao sighed softly. Chapter 1632. Crackle. Ling Zhao slowly stood up, and his body crackled like beans being fried. Rays of resplendent light filled the air, causing Ling Zhao to emit an ancient, heavy, mysterious, and immortal aura. Ling Zhao had finally formed a tribulation seed for the eternally indestructible sacred technique. He was considered to have stepped into the threshold of mastery. From then on, with the tribulation seed as the foundation, Ling Zhao's physical body would become more and more terrifying, more and more powerful. In the end, he would become indestructible and invincible. Ling Zhao heaved a sigh of relief as a look of anticipation appeared in his eyes. The calamity seed has been condensed. The next step is to control the flipping sky seal. As long as he could control the flipping sky seal, Ling Zhao would be able to become the leader of the battle hall. At that time, Ling Zhao's strength would definitely reach an unfathomable level. Master, the young lord of the Ghost Devil clan has arrived. I will hold them back. You go first. At this moment, Thunder Spirit King's anxious voice sounded in Ling Zhao's mind. Ling Zhao's eyes flashed. The young master of the Ghost Demon clan had arrived. Seeing the Thunder Spirit King's anxious tone, he was afraid that he was not in a good condition. Ling Zhao could leave, but he didn't want to leave the Thunder Spirit King behind. I want to see how strong the young lord of the Ghost Devil clan is. Ling Zhao's body flashed as he used the heaven-shrouding secret technique. His aura became extremely obscure. He took a step forward and was about to leave the space of the stone tower. Rumble. The sky was shaking, and the earth was trembling. A fierce battle had already broken out in the Red Lotus Valley. Two silhouettes with powerful auras could be seen in the sky. They were both experts of the Ghost Devil clan, and both of them had the strength of 9th Revolution half-saint. A young man in a black robe was walking towards the stone tower. He looked extraordinary and had a terrifying aura. His eyes were filled with cold killing intent. The young lord of the Ghost Devil clan? Ling Zhao's eyes flashed. He immediately guessed that the young man in a black robe was the young lord of the Ghost Devil clan. He was a 2nd Revolution half-saint, but his body was extremely powerful and emitted a mysterious wave. Clearly, the young master of the Ghost Devil clan had come for the karmic fire of the Red Lotus and the endless tribulation qi. However, he didn't expect that Ling Zhao would take the karmic fire of the Red Lotus and refine the tribulation qi. Ling Zhao's heart skipped a beat. He quietly followed the young master of the Ghost Devil clan. If they could capture this young master of the Ghost Devil clan, perhaps Ling Zhao and Thunder Spirit King would be invincible. The young master of the Ghost Demon clan entered the space where the Red Lotus Hellfire and Tribulation Qi were stored. However, his expression darkened when he saw the scene before him. Damn it. My Red Lotus Karmic Fire, my Tribulation Qi. Who did it? The young master's voice was extremely cold. It contained a monstrous killing intent, causing the surrounding void to tremble violently. Crack! At this moment, Ling Xiao silently appeared behind the young master of the Ghost Devil clan. The Heavenly Tao Primal Chaos Tablet turned into a brick and slammed it on the back of the young master's head. Ling Xiao's heaven-shrouding secret technique was extremely mysterious. Even though Ling Xiao was behind him, the young master of the Ghost Devil clan did not notice him. Therefore, he was in a miserable situation. Ling Xiao took advantage of his distraction and attacked him while he was roaring furiously. Bang! The young master of the Ghost Devil clan staggered. Suddenly, he felt as if his head was about to be smashed by someone. Bastard, who attacked me sneakily? The young master of the Ghost Devil clan was furious. His eyes were filled with cold killing intent. Boom, boom, boom. However, Ling Xiao did not pay attention to him. He held his breath and slammed the Heavenly Tao Primal Chaos Tablet a few more times. The young master of the Ghost Devil clan was smashed until his head was covered in blood and flesh. He was sent flying. This guy's head is so tough? Ling Xiao was surprised. His divine strength was unparalleled. Coupled with the power of the Heavenly Tao Primal Chaos Tablet, the young master of the Ghost Devil clan's head actually did not explode. This young master of the Ghost Devil clan's head was indeed very tough. I'm going to kill you. The young master of the Ghost Devil clan finally saw Ling Xiao's face clearly. His lungs were about to explode from anger. His face was distorted, and his eyes were filled with killing intent. With a flash of light, an ancient sickle appeared in his hand. He slashed it down at Ling Xiao. The young master of the Ghost Devil clan had a strong body. He was surrounded by a dense ghostly aura. His entire body was emitting a black luster, making his body look extremely tough. When the sickle slashed down, it was like a tiger stirring up wind. Boom! Ling Xiao raised the Heavenly Tao Primal Chaos Tablet and slammed it against the sickle. Instantly, a resplendent holy light spread out. Ling Xiao and the young master of the Ghost Devil clan both trembled and retreated at the same time. You're using the tribulation aura to refine your body? Ling Xiao's eyes revealed a trace of surprise. He realized that the young master of the Ghost Devil clan in front of him had also chosen to use the tribulation aura to refine his body. His body was incomparably strong, only slightly weaker than his own. Damn human ant. You're the one who stole this young master's Red Lotus fire and tribulation aura? Go to hell. The young master of the Ghost Devil clan was enraged to the extreme. The sickle in his hand was filled with ghostly aura. In an instant, it turned into a series of afterimages in the void and slashed down at Ling Xiao. Boom, boom, boom. Ling Xiao held the Heavenly Tao Primal Chaos Tablet in his hand and engaged in an intense battle with the young master of the Ghost Devil clan. Every time they clashed, the void would shake, and a resplendent holy light would burst out. However, the more Ling Xiao fought, the braver he became. He realized that using the Heavenly Tao Primal Chaos Tablet as a brick was incomparably convenient. It could be used to smash the face, head, and even weapons away. It was practically tailor-made for Ling Xiao. After the young master of the Ghost Devil clan suffered a great loss in the hands of Ling Xiao, his attacks became even fiercer. The ghostly aura around him was dense, and he emitted a demonic sound that caused one's heart to tremble. It was constantly drilling into Ling Xiao's sea of consciousness. Break for me. Ling Xiao's eyes were incomparably sharp. He shouted loudly, and suddenly, the lightning around his body blazed. Streaks of purple lightning filled the sky, and a terrifying figure appeared behind him. Ling Xiao's aura began to surge, and it actually reached the level of the young master of the Ghost Devil clan. Then, streaks of terrifying lightning gathered on his fist, and he punched towards the young master of the Ghost Devil clan. Lightning Emperor's true body? Damn it! You're a disciple of the 9 Imperial Gates? The young master of the Ghost Devil clan's expression changed. His eyes were filled with monstrous killing intent as he stared at Ling Xiao. That's right. I'm the true disciple of the 9 Imperial Gates, Huang Wuji. Demon brat, prepare to die. I, Huang Wuji, have stolen your Red Lotus fire and tribulation aura. What can you do about it? Ling Xiao's eyes turned, and he suddenly sneered. His expression was extremely arrogant and brash. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.